get to watching the game. Back to you guys.
Hello, everyone.
To know what he thought they were surprised by, right? Because Azir is the most picked. They're playing kind of late game scaling, 2-carry comp, which I feel like is what 100 Thieves plays every single game. But it is going to be lethal tempo on the Varus, so almost guaranteed it's
Hello,
gonna be
team.
on hit. We did see one game from Unforgiven where he played lethal tempo and then went AP, but generally if you're going to go AP, you'll go Hail of Blade, so this should be AP on hit.
Yeah, it's possibly just also a lane ego check. He wants to Varus because he's up against Cordae and Yon, and Cordae and Yon like to try and play lane very aggressively. But this level 1 has actually been really interesting. I mean, Piosik crossed super early, went for the Raptors invade. He knows Closer is the slowly clearing jungle, and they might even be prepping some type of top lane dive if someone can get enough poke down onto Someday.
Someday currently sitting at about 2/3, though. That is a very large wave about to crash in. The minions are going to arrive at the turret before they keep it pushed out away. So Piosik not really going to.
Keiko review is tomorrow, guys. Don't spoil. Don't spoil Keiko.
And this is actually really interesting. If you look at the map, look at all the pings on the TL red buff.
Keiko is tomorrow. Keiko is tomorrow.
About a counter and
Casey games are tomorrow. Don't spoil. Don't spoil. I have avoided spoilers. If you spoil me, I have admins in the chat that will ban everything.
So the assumption was very clearly that Closer was going to go red to red.
Tomorrow after LPL finals.
A 3 buff here potentially, but Closer has just gone back to his side on the blue side and just continues clearing away.
And I feel like if Closer was on one of those champions that we find to be more recognizable for him, like the Lee or the Viego, it's much more likely that he would have gone for a path like that. But on something like the Rel that is slower, could be more of a problem. Piosik going in mid, Quid under pressure, APA gets paid.
Shit. The reason I'm late, guys. The reason I'm late is because I was doing Voice of Yamada with Whip.
Would love to get something back here, but Piosik is matching this gank.
Closer hanging out in that tri-brush until the ward drop down means that he is exposed. Just gonna have to walk that one off now.
Alright, so what are we cooking here? I personally like blue side more here. I like blue side more. I think Poppy value is really, really good here into Kesante and Rel. Yeah, I like blue side more. I like Team Liquid more. What do you think will win LPL?
It's why I love seeing
Hello, Big Jeff.
champions like the Azir, like the Rel, where you can easily use the steadfast presence to interrupt the dash. It's so powerful, and Summit is making
Baldur's Gate is in the evening. Oh, come on. My pleasure, my man. You have good homies over at the Gaming Academy. It's my pleasure to be a part of your special day, come on. But your birthday is not yet, no? Your birthday is in a couple of days. They already sent you the thing. I thought your birthday is the 7th. Hello, Brandisler. What's the squad? I'm gonna be playing with Baus, Wunder, and Kadril. 31st of July. Oh, okay, okay. My bad, my bad. I think I got the dates twisted. I thought it was the 7th, but it's the 7th month. Yo, Calamity. Mitch, we will do a second group, Mitch. We'll do a second group with Vedias and Medic. I will play the game multiple times. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna be my shit, man. Oh, Code JJ. Yo, with a good cleanse. Oh, wow. Run, 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 run.
Beautifully played by 100 Thieves bot lane there, getting the better end of the trade.
I will review K-Cop tomorrow.
Despite the fact that Piosik is there first, Doublelift got a lot of damage out and allowed them to turn around and get that kill on the core as soon as Closer arrived.
And such an amazing sequence there for Doublelift as well. He hadn't shot yet, so he was going to be wanting to recall soon anyways. This time he gets a kill and an assist, gets the Noon Quiver and the recurve bow.
Alright, let's take a look at this game. What's happening in this game?
With a healthy amount of gold.
Summer Doublelift win condition is alive in game number 1.
Man, if he pulls this off, so for those of you who are just tuning in now,
Doublelift in the finals.
well, literally every time Doublelift has been in summer playoffs since 2015, He's literally won the split.
Yeah.
This would be the most ridiculous because he took 2 years off.
Tomorrow is K-Cup, guys. We have to watch LCS.
Pull off more stuff like this, there's at least a chance.
Absolutely. And
If what's Baldur's Gate like? I've never played D&D, but gonna be playing Baldur's Gate with my roommates. I was wondering what to expect. It's basically a CRPG, I think that's what it's called, where it's a very story-driven game. You can do a lot of actions. You can kill NPCs. A lot of your actions have consequences. The way the combat works, it's basically usually you pause and you plan your actions, and then it's like every attack is in theory a roll of the dice, and that's how it plays out. It happens real time, but you can pause and plan your actions. This is usually how you fight. Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of customization, a lot of options, the impact of each stat and item, and the choices you make are very, very extensive. I don't know what time does it start. We're gonna do it in the evening, maybe like at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like this, and we're gonna be playing many hours. I hope we play from like 6 to 11. I'm down to play like 5 hours. I hope Wunder and K-Rool and all these homies are gonna be like down to grind, you know? Hello, Zaku. Good to see you.
It really can, and it looks like TL is going to be starting up the Rift Trail here because they have tempo across the map. Talk a little bit more.
Will it be in the VOD channel? I might make a separate channel.
So in Spring Split,
I might make a separate channel for random, like Yamato random channel.
20 games, 10 of 20 games he was involved in First Blood, including this game now in summer.
Overslept?
It's 5%.
Who overslept?
In one game, he's been
Bro,
involved
it's
in First
11
Blood.
in the night
He's had a
for me.
cataclysmic early game split from the jungle. He was involved in the later kill bottom lane, so he needs to actually be more like Spring Split or more classic closer, I think, for 100 Thieves to have a chance of winning this series.
No, Baldur's Gate 3, like, Baldur's Gate 1 is one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah, I'm worried that the ADHD of all of my teammates in that run is gonna be a mess. Who won draft? I prefer blue side here, but ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I think blue side should be better.
But because it's a 3-man commit from 100 Thieves, there's nothing for a lone Rakan to do about it. Someday backing up now. That his team has more men on the bottom side of the map, so if Team Liquid tries to make a play, it's going to be up there versus him, so wants to pay respect towards that. The Rift Herald also in Pioshik's inventory means they could try to burn down a lot of damage away from that turret, but they're not going to drop it up here. Someday continuing just to farm up. Honestly, a really impressive lead so far, plus 27 on CS.
Do you see LNG doing anything tomorrow? Not really. But I thought they would lose against Bilibili, so who knows? It's going to be exciting, I think.
I mean, Summit is so good in these lanes. You know, playing in that 1v1, he's really dominating against Someday thus far. You know, is going airy, he's playing heavily for lane, but he's not building anything crazy. It looks like he's going to be building towards Proto Belt, so he's building for the 5v5, which I'm way more of a fan of.
More than the static
I
shit.
hate
Way
the
more.
Shiv Cannon builds. I think that they're just such a bait.
All right.
Slight advantage in lane.
When is the voice of Imaru with Bippo out?
In those 5v5s, so I think somebody's going to be set up well to actually.
I have to cook it. I need to record a little commercial for it, you know? Your boy needs to make some money, you know? Needs to make some money, you know? I'm gonna cook up a little, I have a little sponsor for it. Little 1 minute clip. You guys can skip it. You can skip it.
So I always prefer seeing those AP builds as well. I think it's just such a game changer, especially on a player like Summit, who we all know.
It's cool. It's cool because I can make a living, guys. Woo!
2-2. 11 minutes into the game, Quid has just teleported back into mid lane as APA.
I can pay the bills. I can pay my mortgage. I don't have to spend my savings. See?
Yeah, Pioshik has been in 100 Thieves jungle a lot. It's actually somewhat surprising he hasn't been able to pull off more. Like, it was basically the gank mid that hasn't set Quid back. Quid's up 10 CS. I think APA losing that trade after getting the first blood really neutralized whatever advantage.
To buy the apartment? Buy.
Yes, Summit's up 10 CS. Someday hasn't died yet. They're really looking for a kill here, though, because a kill would also allow them to drop Herald and likely get first turret. Here he comes.
Someday trying to get all the way out. Stun comes through. Pioshik wanted to go for it, but Someday fast enough on the flash to get out.
Yep.
I didn't move in yet. I'm slowly moving.
And then not going to be able to actually follow up with the knockup from the R. So Well played by somebody. Had the early flash in that situation. Had the Merc treads to be able to actually get out.
But the apartment, it's in North Rhine-Westphalia.
Able to stay safe. Obviously, it's not a fun lane to be playing in. But if
I don't like saying the city because the city is rather small. Ooh. Wait. What happened to his R? Why didn't Pioshi get pushed?
But now that 100 Thieves does not have a flash on their mid laner, you know Pioshik's going to be looking back to make this happen again as the Rift Herald is
That was a strange interaction.
to just find somewhere to drop this.
He just eat through it.
Good drop right there. I gotta say, Quid played that gank way better. He won the mind game that time against Piosik. Notice how he didn't even try.
He has super armor.
Might try and do the flash W again, so able to escape that one. Yes, it cost him everything, but at least he keeps his life.
Right, he's not dead. That's the most important thing here. As
Yeah, we need some VAR.
I do also, if we're talking about being not dead on Azir, Quid did go for the Crown of the Shattered Queen build this game. I've talked about it in the past as one that comes under a lot of criticism in the community. It's one of those things, especially versus a champion like Ezreal.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Easy for Ezreal to poke it off with Mystic Shot spam. So
Yes, also Quid does this every time.
That's what I was gonna say. I actually want to look at.
It's
his
just what he
match list,
builds
'cause
on
I feel
his
like
ear.
it's
Yeah.
100% of the time that he's played his year, he's built it.
I don't like Crown here.
that is not a good.
I don't like it versus Triss because her damage is not upfront, and I don't think it improves your side laning hard enough to justify Crown.
I mean, I think the
I don't think Crown is that great here.
it's Rakan and it's gonna be.
I guess the flip side is that he doesn't want to buy Ludens,
They're gonna be trying to one shot.
but
It's just the Mystic shots that you have to worry about. They're gonna be able to avoid that somewhat. So we'll see.
I'm thinking. It's like Ludens is not great.
Incredible. And
Guess you just play it simple and just buy yourself a little Leandris. I don't think it's bad at all.
Also, Raz, hope you're feeling better. If you want to check on Twitter, he's in an arm sling. I always have this really troll conversation with Raz because every time Quid would build this, he'd rage in him. And I'd be like, but listen, he's going to check the tooltip at the end of the game, and it's going to show that he reduced a lot of damage. Because yes, it gets poked off by the Ezreal Q, but that's using the passive, right? He's reducing the damage every single time. And those JCQs hit it for 1,000. He reduces 700 damage every time. That's pretty good.
Yeah, until your Nexus blows up. Then at that point, your tooltip's not worth it.
I don't think Road of Ages is good on Azir because I don't like the fact that Road of Ages makes you miss cooldown.
He was really not that bad. Like that
late
chunks
game,
people.
it does some
I think Leandris is just the way.
not a fan of Crown builds when Shiv was in.
Why is Ludens bad here? It is worse because
Yeah,
they're already quite magic damage heavy,
reduce the shift damage.
and the enemy has heavy incentives to buy mercs.
Reduced by 90 or whatever. Busio, handshake there onto Pioshik. 100 Thieves, now getting engaged. Nice!
All right.
From Core JJ finds closer and Quid, but now it's
He's just dead. He's just dead. Cannon's very late to the situation.
strike right back.
I think this was not an opportunity for Team Liquid to actually push her. I think it's very important when your cannon is dominating top that you let him call the shots.
At the same time, that's a completely different fight. But
I don't think you should like here. This was obviously a fight that was provoked by somebody else, not Cannon.
Say in the two biggest fights that mattered, Busio has really performed this game. It was the gank early where he was able to get the kill back on Yon, eventually giving double.
Yeah, I think no exhaust is troll definitely.
Again, Core JJ engages Busio. Is patient enough.
Oh, he has turret aggro. Quid killed him. Ooh, APA. Honestly, APA has been struggling, guys. APA has been struggling. He's been having a hard time in these playoffs.
attacking mid lane here with Pioshik.
Very hard time in these playoffs.
Reaction there from APA on the player cam. You can feel the frustration from him there. He jumped forward, was getting a little bit aggressive and gets punished massively. Quid's the richest man in the game now. Already before that kill, he was
I have to see Quid play anything else
and he's
than Azir.
ahead of where APA
I think that's the big quest here. How is he gonna maneuver around that? That's a big quest.
For APA, he
Doublelift is playing the Doublelift Classic. He's gonna go Navori on Varus.
gank, and now, especially if 100 Thieves can get this Rift Herald, they're going to be in such a
Yo, Levon Polak, thank you very much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 3 months as well. 3 months is a very important breakpoint for me, actually.
on your carries.
So I appreciate 3 months.
Been able to get the kill, so very good start.
Yo, Mamato. I want a tomato.
in the game are
Thank you, Yusuf. I mean, hello, Yusuf.
really good.
I'm getting programmed.
Always really strong on 2 items. APA is going to be strong.
I'm saying thank you to hellos.
We can watch this
Well, thank you for being here, Yusuf.
TP'd up towards top. It's a TP to defend. I think
Will you only cover LPL tomorrow or DK versus Hammer Live 2? I will only cover LPL tomorrow. We're gonna start covering LCK the moment LPL is over. So,
And he just shifts in, finds the angle, scoops him back into the turret, and gets a little
yo, Satu Shite, thank you much for the tier 1, appreciate you.
his crown on that auto attack, Jat.
Exactly. What was that? His crown was up. Like, he's actually never winning that all in.
Yeah, you can just see the
Kane loves
reaction
it.
there. Yeah, that's a little goofy from Team Liquid. You're gonna want that one back, man. Like, that's just silliness.
It's a massive shift in the game, too, because, I mean, Quid hasn't had to leave the top.
Here's a review after LPL.
They're going to be able to give
Link your League and Prime Gaming accounts to get the exclusive Giga Darius emote.
damage, getting a lot of use out of this
I hate
item.
this item so much now because of
He's
this
getting
item.
a lot of use.
I hate this item so much.
You want me to check the
I
damage?
bet you it's high.
470, wow, incredible.
That's 471 more damage than Leandry's would have blocked.
True, yeah.
I don't know what should be okay.
How much would Leandry's have done?
I don't know.
Guys, I'm very hungry.
470.
No way of knowing.
Probably only like 2,000.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Leandry's is so busted.
All right, well, hey, it's 18 minutes into the game. Chat, you already said it. 100 Thieves have both the Drakes so far. It's been 1-1 on
I'm doing good, thank you very much.
Herald value initially was only the guaranteed
Bro, my
charge.
titties are so sore.
Ended up having a timer
I had like a
ran the
crazy chest workout yesterday. Like, I've re-innovated how I exercise.
spectator Herald timer anyway. Summit versus
I do
Summit,
6 times 10.
the map, where a big part of Team Liquid's gold lead is coming
Oh.
in, but Summit's going all in.
Rip. Ooh, little Jukus. Damn, double with the fadeaway shot. I like that. Double is finding the lethal with the Varus ult. That's kind of dank. Yeah, finding lethal with Varus ult. That's not frequent, by the way. That's not often at all.
Had a nice dodge on the queue, was able to play that about as well as he could, but this is the problem with these sort of picks. I mean, somebody almost had the solo kill while down 50 CS here. You know, somebody's up a
Yeah, Cannon doesn't scale on side as a champion.
It's just hard to translate that to side lane pressure. You know, Kennen is someone that has to succeed in the 5v5. You can't really win it out in the 1v1 for the whole game.
Or JJ coming mid, but
No, I do 80% 6 times 10.
there's nothing for Team Liquid to find here as Or JJ getting a little
So basically, I did
not hit him with the shattering
6 times 10, 70 kilo.
And I think if you're
70 kilo bench.
now you're sweating because this has been
That's a good combo from Someday.
with Team Liquid and even with
I think Someday needed to ult earlier though. Like he needed to ult
the entire league and isolated
like out of his W, like WQR and just buffer it.
by the R was up 50 CS, but he again is in a 1v2, so that 50 CS doesn't matter. Also, the fact that Team Liquid has
He bought MR. Like keep in mind that Karen is heavily indexed into pen, right? So the value of Mercs is really insane. Isn't 6 times 10 too much volume for one day? No.
Right now, they are really stressing because this is not their strengths. Their early game didn't work, and now they have to do something they weren't able to do during the regular season.
I just think Tristana from behind is such a struggle. You really
Because if you flip it, right? If you flip it on Cannon's side, he's buying items to assassinate
fight people in these sides.
champions without MR. Why would he be winning against a tank? Okay?
You have to be rocket jumping in aggressively.
I'm not saying what he's doing is incorrect, this is correct.
So all that happens is you slowly get poked in, you're chipped out, shoved in these towers, and it becomes really, really problematic. You can see AP
How much time do you take between every rep? Like 2 minutes?
plus the item disadvantage. He's gonna have a range disadvantage as well, so it's gonna be tough, I think, for him, unless the rest of his team can do a really good job to actually create space.
Closer trying
I
to
mean-
go in there,
Ooh.
but now we got the
Oh, Boosie with the flash. Quid? Very deep.
Boom, boom, right back in. Summit
Wow. Team Liquid.
divide. 100
Team
Thieves
Liquid.
takes out the Team Liquid flank.
I mean, how out of position do you have to be for them to miss that many abilities?
Yeah, it's weird. I think Summit is a good cannon, but I don't think Summit should be able to play cannon well in the context of TL. Like, I think
They scoop him in, they get the kill at the end of the
I think Summit is at its best
TL. Oh my god, they just flashed that wall.
when
So that should not have been spotted. I want to see the spectator from the other side to see if they actually saw them going in at all. But
I
they
don't
flashed
think
that
they
wall.
did.
They shouldn't have been able to see them.
This is amazing.
But the
no, of course I didn't do only 6 times 10 for chest.
right? Like there was
I did a lot of hard sets. That's just one exercise 6 times 10.
That's an incredible call by TL.
There was a ping, a red side ping from 100 Thieves on the Baron while they were still on the Drake. So it was in their minds, could they have been here? But they decided to stay on the Drake instead. Team Liquid in a position where
need
you
a replay
said
of
it,
that.
Jad,
Yeah.
they were sweating.
I'm really disappointed you haven't sent me any daily gifts. Bro, the only way I play Pokemon Go, mate,
You can see the bush.
I play with
They were never
with a Pokemon Go Plus.
from the Scuttle Crab.
I have so much respect for the fact that he flashed
Oh,
the wall.
okay.
That is hard.
Yeah, basically I
Confidence
I did 3 chest exercises. So I did 18 hard sets for chest. And then I rounded off with military press. 6 times 10 military press. So I did 4 exercises, 6 times 10. So I did 24 sets. Like 24, like let's say 18 of them were pretty fucking damn hard. Because the first 2 sets usually... I do chest 2 times. 2 times a week. Yeah, I only care about hypertrophy too. I don't care about like, sure, I want to be stronger, but I wanna fucking look hench, you know? Yeah, it's a lot of volume, but it's like if you are guys, so basically the way I did it, this was just one time, right?
And very clearly, TL are just going to be trying to set up for this fight at the next Dragon, right?
No, it's not 36. It's like if I do 6 times 10, the 3 last sets are insanely hard, but the first 3 are easy.
That Baron set was a big deal. They got a turret on bot side. Previously, we saw APA finally cleared up a turret on top side, so he has gotten to his second completed item. Yes, he's still behind the carries on the 100 Thieves side, but not by so much anymore.
So the last set is a fucking...
Guaranteed. So they got a lot from this. They went from down gold to 2,700 gold here. It's a massive swing.
And not even just gold, just like map pressure, right? Not having those outer turrets up for 100 Thieves, maybe allowing Core JJ and Summit to have a little bit more real estate to look for engages with, because that's ultimately what they need to do, is they need to find good engages onto Quid, Double, if Busio. They need to find ways to get around the front line of Someday and Closer. So just, again, that was an incredible Baron sneak with the way they snuck.
Guys, I'm talking about my chest, and I didn't even see the TL to Gnash, guys.
Yes, he's going to have the flash, but he is playing on hit, so you need to have time to actually stand and fire and stack the lethal tempo if you want to have a big impact in this fight. And that is going to require Someday and Busio especially to be able to actually peel off some of these divers, right? To keep Core away, to keep Summit away. Because if they're allowed that free engage, if they get that flash engage from Core JJ and Summit comes in over the top, you're just not really going to be able to do much in a fight where that happens. So much is on the...
Let's see if this is enough.
Create that space.
I don't know how much I like the hourglass, but I guess it makes sense to some degree because enemy has Azir. Don't you think Ezreal is insanely fake and pro play right now? No. But what do you mean by pro play? You know, it's like it's in LCS. I don't follow my brother's Waga split now. I do my own. I do push pull legs, and I have discovered exercises that work well for me.
So his lead is actually greater than the team lead is right now. Their Baron power play was plus 2,700 or so, so that was really good. But they have 40 seconds now to prepare for this Dragon here. People are all going. Also,
it's like when I do 6 times 10, right? I've only it's not like I want to do that every time. It's just what I did recently, and I really like my muscles are so damn sore. It feels damn good, you know. It's not something I would do every time. Like sometimes I've tried to do 10 times 10 on 60% weight, like German volume training. I've done many different variants of it. So Summit pushed all the way. I like that. I think Ezreal needs to regroup.
Control ward for 100 Thieves in the brush entrance to the mid lane, as well as the pit itself. They've got the ward up there on the ramp, but it's also
yeah. No, I definitely sometimes I go to the gym and I'm like, yeah, my back is fucked, my chest is fucked, my legs are fucked. Okay, I'm gonna do some sit-ups, I'm gonna do some stretches, I go home. It's no problem. Okay, Papushka ult. Ooh, Papushka. Oh, Closer steal it. Oof. I think Closer kind of lost his mind here. Like he dropped his eye. His eyes was not on the ball.
I mean, it was good. It ended up working. working out, so that makes
Diva 412, you know, you want me to make dinner for you too, mate? Like,
I think they lose a straight up team.
you want me to randomly work for you, bro?
To rush it, charging up the
Little bro,
the ultimate to try and hit closer, makes
I'm not your team's coach.
It did end up just being a 50-50 though, and Piosik lands the smite to really keep TL in the game. I think Cloud Soul would have been huge for 100 Thieves.
I will say I'm a little bit disappointed that
I was spotting a guy in the gym the other day. He did 5, 10, 15 reps and then suddenly said vitality out loud. That's when I knew he needed help, because he was lifting till fail.
But it did feel like they gave a lot of freedom to TL, you know, to try to finish that, and thought they would have been willing to take a bit more of an aggressive stance to try to get what would have been sold.
Yeah, and I will say like it all happened really fast.
I like it.
So maybe there was a moment where 100 Thieves, looking back, could have.
I'm looking at this itemization of double. There has to be a better item there than BT, no? There has to be an item that is better than BT, I feel like.
Yeah, we've got the Ezreal ulti over the top. He's going to knock a little bit of HP off the double lift. Some poke coming back and finding Yawn. So both AD carries not too much worse for wear as the battle for the Scuttle Crab goes the way of Team
The
Liquid.
audacity as well from Diva 412 to just drop in here first time chatting to, yo, can you just scout the enemy team for me and do the draft?
From them. As soon as this is spawned, they're ready to fight over the vision. Considering so few resources were used in the fight over the Drake that we thought was going to be really big, I'm expecting a full-blown
Just
battle.
he finished BT at level 13.
It's also an interesting build here from Closer. He's going kind of the standard support item style.
Thank you, Crockpot.
Did actually go for a Night's Vow here for double lift, so trying to do everything he can to keep double lift alive. I'm guessing the Giant's Belt is going to be an Anathema's, probably as his third item, just kind of continue.
I didn't work out with Gilius.
But 100 Thieves in the Baron area.
I imagine Gilius being the biggest disco gymmer of all time.
On this Baron, when you have an Azir, when you have an on-hit Varus, that thing will melt. So they have
I need to see my boy Gilius in the gym. But when I imagine him in the gym, I think he's disco gym.
Completed item advantage for Quid in the mid
He
lane.
goes and does some curls.
Completed there along
Then he
with the
does
stopwatch, which can give you the
some bicep curls.
While we're there for APA, it's still just
Then he rests and check his phone.
with the extra cape. Like you said earlier, Isaac, Tristana from behind is rough. It's much more difficult to have meaningful impact.
When he seriously told me, yeah, I don't do leg day, I was like he said it with such a bravado.
Continue the battle for vision and positioning over this objective. So many flashes are available. So much in the tank for both sides. Closer's not going to hit the Shattering Strike on Dion there.
Right, LDR's finished on Tristana.
The flash Shattering Strike crashed down Magnet Storm yet this game. So
I feel like if Quid had Nash's Tooth, Death Cap, and was building a Void now, I think that would have been better build.
Away from Rel pretty easily. They don't need to clump up in order to be effective, so it is hard for Closer to find his angles. I'd say, like, if this game breaks,
Is squatting safe for his ass? He could just do some goblet squats or just do some lunges, you know, like training legs isn't that deep, you know. Yeah, Gilius is not an innocent soul, I'll tell you that much. Gilius is a demon.
They can kind of catch a 5v5 at some point. Team Liquid just isn't really allowed.
He's definitely a demon.
Also, going to be interesting. They could actually potentially look to go over the wall there. I was thinking they might have looked for some sort of a sneaky play. Bit of an aside, but there is also a...
I'm lucky because I can do very deep squats. I can do like ass to the grass.
You can go off away from where your cursor is. I saw Diamond talking about this on Twitter, and there's some examples of it in pro across a number of different leagues. So that may potentially be making Closer a little bit more hesitant, because I know a lot of pros have been talking about this bug with Rel, where you look for a Q flash and your Q kind of just flies off.
Zonya's into Shadowflame.
Potentially is a little bit more nervous to look for that play.
we haven't seen either team really be willing to pull the trigger.
Mathematically, Deathcap and Void just needs to be better than Shadowflame.
That would have done like 500 damage, 150.
Like everyone
And it's gonna be
probably
better
has
for the next fight. I
50 MR at this point. Like, and more.
Or maybe going into this fight with less.
Doesn't Busio have Solari? No, he has actually Shirelia.
See how it's less
You're
expensive.
not wrong.
There's no fight. There hasn't been a fight.
And another reason the item is good, because it's going to be back really soon.
There's no fight.
There's no fight because of the overwhelming power of the Crown of the Shattered Queen.
Yeah,
just
maybe
dissuades
Team Liquid
everything.
would be more willing to fight if Quid had 500 less health.
True.
That's the difference.
And it's back up, look!
There you go. Wow.
Oh, look at Nash's Tutti Frutti doing well.
Bad for like the people in chat that are believing you.
It's not that.
Kisanta has some shields. Yes.
Does have its uses.
Agreed.
Thieves, control over the the top side, River. Again,
I think they're
Let's see now what's baking.
They've been up here for so long,
Yeah.
and it feels like 100 Thieves don't know what to do at this
APA's
point in the
taking the
game.
dragon.
Like they're not going to Soul, so they're just gonna
Boom.
have to flip this. But now you're doing.
Ezreal didn't shave anybody.
You're in the pit against a Kennen. I kind of hate this
Oh.
call, but they're gonna go for it.
All right.
Try to use the keeper's verdict. Pioche
Oh, Summit with the fat ult. Summit didn't stopwatch, by the way.
Pioche has stolen the Baron, and 100 Thieves already lost Busio. They try to retreat back.
Damn.
It took them 10 damn minutes to do
100 Thieves.
Team Liquid with the
Bro.
punish.
Team Liquid with the massive steal.
Just instant replay here, guys, because I can just go to live.
Does have its season.
Like 100 Thieves just need to turn. Like,
Have to flip this, but now you're doing this against an Ezreal.
they are not turning.
Against a Kennen. I kind of hate this call.
Why can Summit walk all? Look at this! Look at this! Look at that! Why is no one using any spells? Why is Busio not pressing R? Why is no one using abilities?
Use the keeper's verdict. Pioche got hit.
Why can he walk?
Now the Cloud Drake that Piosik has won the flip on, that's the Baron he's won the flip on. Summit.
How can he walk?
0-2-0 before
How
that.
can he walk?
Off the Dream Ultimate.
Yeah.
Right? He pushed
How
down
can he slap her?
making it so they'd win that fight. They also were able to sneak the Cloud Soul. That's 3 objectives that Team Liquid has been able to
We're
really
going to LCS Drake.
take despite 100 Thieves having the lead in this game. And now they've kind of done it. Like Team Liquid has played a really good 20 to 33 minutes and have gotten the lead back in this game.
And it just feels like 100 Thieves had no confidence in their ability to push the game forward, right? They got these early 3 dragons.
When you look at the red side draft,
And I don't feel like they have confidence in
was that Rainover? No, Rainover is the coach of Team Liquid. Yes.
well, but it is admittedly
Was that Rainover? Am I racist? Come on, man.
the catch is just on a, so it feels like
The fact that you
they can
asked
actually start these fights.
makes you weird.
So they kind of end up throwing their game on this decision.
Just don't
against
act.
Baron,
Ask.
which was really ill-advised. It's just a bizarre kind of ending to this game number 1.
Team Liquid have made better decisions in this game. The Baron
Yes.
sneak, their ability to focus the objectives properly, and it's those choices that have resulted in a 7,500 gold lead. They are busting the base of 100
Busting.
right now. That middle
They're
lane, tier
busting.
3 turret, still only standing at half
They're
HP.
busting,
They're
guys.
under pressure now. We've still got
The
Baron
base.
getting blessed up with Baron. Doublelift's gonna remove that one now, but APA can just step up as long as
Can you explain how a team with DL on the roster can ever lose a game? Well, the thing is, sometimes Doublelift's team, their structures are exposed.
It's very difficult for him to deal with this champion because if you look at the itemization of Sunday, it's
And then when the enemy attacks them,
the enemy team.
they actually lose. As the TP, let's see the TP from Keuna. Oh, Poyoshik.
Using the slam
Oh.
to tackle Sunday backwards and get himself out.
Someday couldn't ult the Babushka.
Opportunity to
Is that real?
something else. Sunday's still here on the flank. TL pushing right back up. The mid lane inhibitor is falling.
Alright.
Liquid with a 4-1.
This is a wonderful game, the League of Legends that we just watched, guys.
Remaining 4 players now look to pressure
Team Liquid
Inhib.
with a beautiful Nash that I didn't see.
With a steadfast presence, Core JJ Grand exit right back over the wall. Sunday with a knock-up. He goes all out to bring Summit into the rest of the team, but he pops the Zonias, and instead it's Quid, who may just drop. The bailout keeps him alive. Beautifully done from Boozy.
Oh, the Ezreal timing was horrible.
Quid still lives. Closer tried to disengage. Sunday doing the same. 100 Thieves hold the line. Don't you dare mention the crown.
I'm not gonna. This was the things that were going through my mind during the sequence, Captain Flowers. I cast or cursed them with my mind. Like I was all ready to say Team Liquid didn't look like Team Liquid because honestly they had done so much in this game and were so patient.
This is such a
coming back into this.
strange
They
game.
never need to get overly aggressive, but Summit actually does. They were gonna just clean 2 inhibitors and be able to back away, but he walks forward for 1 extra Q. That's when 100 Thieves find their window. Another amazing bailout from Busio, and 100 Thieves wins the fight despite being down 8,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this game
What
was
does
gonna be
Pioche just do?
was gonna be able to clean it up. You know, Someday
What
goes
did
for
Summit
it,
just
does
do?
get the flash, gets the all out, pulls in Summit, but TL could have just let him go with 1 death there. Then Quid flying in, you know, went way too far forward. It
Well,
looked like he was
it's a terrible death to be had because you got two inhibitors down.
TL members kind of try to pile in to try to support
Now the enemy can actually push all the way and set up for Drake.
And this is actually a really big window. 36 seconds until
Jag har inte varit på en kräftskiva någonsin.
trying to get the waves.
Ooh, okay. Oh, people not in range. Double with the R. Ooh, flash of Pioshik. Kenneth's pushing. He doesn't have... He has a pretty good TP ward. Look at that TP ward behind the enemy.
Loses the crown. 100 Thieves trying to keep Team Liquid zoned away.
Team Liquid
There is
They're just going for the third inhib here. Holy, they get played. They get played like a fiddle. Bro, 100 Thieves did not know how to react to this. They over-pushed for Drake. And Cannon's side lane management, bro. I'm telling you, like, Summit is a hull breaker enjoyer. And he's... the best thing he's done with Cannon is split push. The whole game. That was a fucking double lift call. It did look like one, I'm not gonna lie. Guys, if we get this Drake, we're gonna win this game. And then the enemy takes the third inhib, and you fucked. Yes, Cloud Soul doesn't do anything for Red Side Champs, by the way. Nothing. It's a terrible soul. Like, they legit have the champs that, like, don't give a fuck about move speed at all. Besides maybe Kekuna. How do you go for this build as Varus? I don't know, Lethality Varus is pretty fucking good this game, I feel like. I don't know why he didn't go Lethality Varus. I feel like Lethality Varus is pretty OP this game. The enemy has Cannon, Rakan, Ezreal, Tristuni. Lethality Varus is definitely my jam here. We are making it. We made it to LCS Drake, guys. I think we need an LCS Drake song. Like, what could be our LCS Drake song? LCS Drake song. What could be our LCS Drake song, guys? Bando Diaries. What if LCS Drake song is just a fucking Drake song?
Will Closer make his entrance? The other 4 Thieves are defending at mid. Fioshik moving back to clear out the enemy control.
Yeah, it will. Is he gone? Where'd he go?
Where is he at? Okay, he's back in the base. 100 Thieves continuing to try to defend. Team Liquid pressuring all 3 lanes at once. Mid lane and bottom lane inhibitors going to respawn in 25 and 50 seconds respectively. Team Liquid is already ready to knock them right back over. 100 Thieves, they've really got just one chance at this. If they fail this team fight, the game is over.
But at the same time, if TL are too passive, there's really good wave clear on the other side. So you actually have to push forward and start attacking the champions as they're trying to clear out these waves.
Hotline Bling.
Doublelift and Quid can clear these waves.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Actually, started from the bottom, now we're here is a good one. Alright, Ezreal runs this type of fight, I think. Bro. Summit, he hunts alone. But Summit hunts alone. Whenever he's on the same screen as his teammates. Even that Nash fight, he fucking completely 1v5 in one.
But the inhibitor mid is still gonna drop. Some days too low, the Thieves have to retreat. They've lost a Nexus turret. 100 Thieves, 4v3, holding on. But it's double marksman against a respawn inhibitor, and the thing's about to drop. Double up charges of a piercing arrow. A TP's about to arrive, but APA, Core JJ, and Yawn are all making their exit. Someday, coming around from the side, keep your eyes on Cassante. Can't close the distance in time. Busio now gonna get jumped on. APA
whoa.
looking for some burst.
Bro, how far did he fly?
Someday still
Mate.
might be able to find an angle here in these guys. Even though it was a 2-for-1 for 100 Thieves, they still lose a Nexus turret, and both inhibs are killed again. I'd say Team Liquid comes out on top.
Yeah, I mean, ever so slightly, but this is a situation where you would think that they would have been able to close the game, right? You have Baron, you have triple inhib down. And I don't think
I just joined. Can someone tell me the gist of this game? So basically, Team Liquid they were losing, and then they did a sneaky beaky Nash, and that Nash allowed them to consolidate. 100 Thieves were approaching Soul, and in the end, what happened? They wanted to trade Soul for a Nash, and in that Nash situation, they refused to turn, and Kennen got a fat ultimate. Busio is not playing with Exhaust, he's playing with Ignite. It gave them a kill bot, but now they're suffering for it. Now the rest of the game is, whenever Summit is playing alone, he's completely smurfing, and when his teammates are on his screen, he's Oi. Ooh. Okay, okay, okay. Here comes Cannon. He's ulting Quid in the back. Oh, he gave him the kill. Oh, Appa. APA, APA. Oh. Yo, thinking about Saishu. Thank you, Saishu. Brilliant game, brilliant game.
Absurd if 100 Thieves could have came back in that game. So, as most people expected, actually, Team Liquid up 1-0 in the series.
Crazy, crazy game number 1, though. I think there's going to be a lot of moments that both teams wish they could have back, that both teams felt that they were in winning positions from, and I think they're absolutely right.
Your commentary from the backstage of LEC was in a different level, maybe come like that sometime in the future. Yeah, when I'm at the LEC, I do it, you know, I don't hear the commentary, I don't hear the casters, so like it naturally kind of happens. Also, I'm wearing a suit. And additionally, now watching LCS, that is. It's in my demon hours. Guys, stick around for more entertainment. Have you seen the pike bug? Show me. Show me. Show me the pike bug. Did you manage to build the door thing from yesterday? No. I didn't get help from... like my girlfriend's parents couldn't be there today, so I did other stuff.
Just keeping it interesting.
Yeah, just having a good time.
Thank you on the left. Watch the left. Okay, he didn't use a potion yet. He didn't use a potion yet, okay? Look, now he goes off the camera, starts healing with Pasu. Look, he keeps healing. He keeps healing.
Mark couldn't catch up with Double Lift, so we got someone.
Now check Revitalize. It's at only 34. 35 bonus healing, Revitalize.
Catching up with anybody.
How is that only 35 healing, Riot? Like, fuck it, like, what is up with Revitalize? Okay, like, take a look this. Look now, look now. They're gonna take another trade and Pike is again 1 HP. Watch, 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 watch. He didn't use a potion yet. Watch.
Oh, God.
Bro, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, wait, is it?
Look! No potion.
That's crazy, actually.
No potion.
That's pretty funny, actually. Let's see this episode. I'm kind of curious.
Anybody except for Double Lift. I'm here with APA.
Yep. Very loud clap.
Oh, God. So your name... Oh, wait, is it APA or APA?
I guess I don't really care. APA, APA, whichever one.
Really?
APA, yip, yip. Yeah, it's like a little funny meme.
I don't get it, I guess.
You ever watch Avatar, The Last Airbender?
Yeah, I was going to ask you why... Is that your name because you're named yourself after the bad Avatar?
No, it's oh my...
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You want to see a magic trick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm going to make the table disappear. Just write your social security number down and your home address right there. And then
I'm
I'll
good.
make it. How about like...
No.
Mother's maiden name?
No.
Even just like your phone number is good?
No, I'm good.
Email?
I don't know you, man.
You can just put your thumbprint.
Do you want to see
on
the
it.
table disappear or not?
That seems like a lame magic trick.
All right, well, I'll show you anyway. I don't even need any information from you. Watch. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off!
Any minute now, right, Daniel?
It didn't work. See? If you would have wrote your social security number
You're
down, it
right.
would have
This dude
worked.
sucks.
Right?
Yeah, this dude sucks. You gotta fire him.
This interview would be 10 times better if I was in that chair instead of this one.
Yeah. No, you're right.
All right.
Do better, man.
It's hotbox this. You know what I'm saying, man? You blaze, right?
What's that?
A little good kush on the weekends, grind some solo queue.
You play solo queue?
Wait, they can actually put that?
NA
By the way,
solo queue, you
they
gotta-
cannot put that on the show, no? They actually, that he's gonna get, they're gonna get in trouble for that.
Take the edge off a little bit.
No, I don't really play solo queue.
Kind of cringe.
I want to just take a second to celebrate here.
Oh, well, say.
I get to take over as the permanent
Guys, whether it's legal or not, they are promoting drugs on a stream.
host of the show. I think that's pretty cool. Oh! Ow!
Yo, the table disappeared.
Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Who gives you? Yeah, but that's a technical thing, Crepo. Alright, well, right back, guys. I'm gonna check what's up in the kitchen. I'm so happy I don't like alcohol. Like, I have such an addictive personality, but I just don't enjoy alcohol. So, I'm very fortunate. Will you do LEC playoff tier list? Yes, brother, but we have to wait like 5 months before it starts, so don't worry, bro. It will happen. It's too late for kitchen? Bro, it's perfectly in my feeding window. Must feed.
Welcome back to the Analyst Lounge. I am happy to welcome LS, who is kind of in the computer right now. But thank you for taking the time to come off of your co-stream of the LCS and join us.
No, I'm really happy to be here. So this is a very fun experience.
Yeah, so the segment I really wanted to do with you, because you have this super cool draft tool that we have up. It's drafting.gg. It's LS's own draft tool, and it's even available in English, Korean, and Chinese. So you can do it in multiple languages. I really wanted to, obviously, drafting and itemization are, I think, the two things that are like your strength as an analyst, right? And the things you talk about the most. Wanted to use your tool to kind of go over this draft that we just saw. Before I get into this one, I did want to ask you, what if you thought of TL and 100 Thieves drafts just holistically?
You guys think that you can say shit? That
I feel like
my...
when APA ended up coming in, I felt like there was a noticeable change because it seems
Alright,
like
let me show you guys my haul. I found this sausage.
In terms of the champions,
I found the sausage.
Obviously, that drives some bans his way, right? The Ziggs one is the most notable, and I think that he has a lot of other champions like up his sleeve that we might end up seeing in playoffs, which is going to be really interesting. I think 100 Thieves are really all over the place with their identity, but generally, what'll end up happening is they find their niche and then they'll just stick to it, right? And we saw that in spring playoffs, so we'll see how the remainder of the series goes.
That's interesting that you said they're all over the place, because I feel like talking to a lot of LCS teams and players, they're like, oh yeah, we know exactly what 100 Thieves are going to do. I talked to NukeDuck about it earlier today, and he actually said, he's like, I don't think they were expecting this draft. So we'll start
NukeDuck was trolling you, Emily.
ended up losing
NukeDuck
What
Trolls.
did you think of
He said in the interview, he's like, yeah, this is, no one expected this.
So the really
Bro, they are all playing
Red
champ.
side map
They're all
for me
playing their
is
most
that
played.
they open with, so the enemy opens B1 Tristana. So this is a multi-flex champion, right? It can go top lane, it can go mid lane, it can go AD carry. Top lane has never happened, so it's mostly just mid and AD carry. And then you have R1 and R2, which stands for red side 1 and 2, Azir Rel. And both of these two champions, sure, Azir can be a lane neutralizer against Tristana, but she's still going to have shove. They're still going to be able to
Who would
push
win in an
Tristana.
MMA match,
Tristana
TF or
doesn't
LS?
engage against these champions. So
I don't think
those
anyone could
slots,
win.
which seems really weird to me. Rakan, Ezreal,
It would be like a draw
and then there's an R3 Cassandra.
by
And I feel like at this
insufficient
point,
evidence.
Summit's pool is too wide.
I found this
to ban
package
out
of
all the remaining
cheese.
champions that can answer Cassante in top lane, and Cassante must go top lane, right? You're not doing any funny stuff with Azir at this point inside of the draft, so you can't ban them all out. So now you have two short-range, hard-engaged champions, Azir, who's going to be stationary, and they're threatening to outrange you with Ezreal and
Found some
Tristana.
cheese.
They
Look
have
at that.
way higher ability. They have a longer range advantage. I mean, I would argue that they have more scaling at this point in the draft. It just gets really weird. And when
Bro,
the
this has
Renata
no
comes in
flavor.
on R4, I'd say the Renata blind is kind of weird. Now, some people might not say that it's blind because they already know about the Rakan, but it is blind in the sense that
I think
the
this
three
cheese is
champions
old.
that she's staring down right now, she's really bad against.
Mhm.
So, knowing what Liquid are going to do on B4, B5, I feel like the Renata is a blunder on R4. And then the Kennen and the Poppy, I actually think, are also kind of poor picks because in a way. So it gets a little weird, and I think the draft becomes somewhat even, but I still favor Team Liquid in the end.
Yeah, I do feel like whenever we talk about drafts, or like whenever I listen to you talk about drafts, it's always, you know, here or here that things start going really, really wonky.
Yep.
An interesting thing, 100 Thieves actually did select red side again for this game.
Okay.
So using this tool, I actually wanted to just talk to you about like, if you're assuming that TL are going to continue their focus, putting APA on the Tristana, making sure that, you know, Cord is on the Rakan or Jan is on the Ezreal. Like if you're kind of assuming that they're going to have similar focus, what would you like to see differently
I'm not in Poland,
from
though.
100 Thieves off the bat?
So right off the bat, I would want the Kai'Sa ban completely dropped because Kai'Sa, I'm probably one of the few people that's like really vocal about this. I don't think that Kai'Sa can be blinded in the sense that one of the things about Kai'Sa that makes her really strong is she has 3 different modes. She has the Luden's mode, she has the Gwynsu's mode, and then she has the crit mode. And all of those play very differently, right? She has the Leandri's mode, but we've never seen it yet, I don't think. Maybe Unforgiven did it or something, or I don't know. I think he had a tweet where he did it, but Leandri's will probably be the only thing in the future once the nerf comes through. The thing about Kai'Sa is that she requires her 3 items to really come online, and that doesn't happen until 25, 26 minutes in game. 25, 26 minutes typically happens, you know, before Soul, right? Or like after Soul, is what I mean. So Soul stacking team compositions are really, really dominant against Kai'Sa, because Soul is going to be contested around 22, 23 minutes, and that's her weakest point. So if teams early rotate Kai'Sa and then you have Soul stacking, she's at her most vulnerable periods, and she can't provide any value at that point. And also, like, champions like Ivern are really good against her. Ivern very, very strong inside of the meta right now. So I think dropping the Tristana...
The next thing I have is
dropping the Kai'Sa
nuts.
ban and banning Tristana, who's a lot more problematic for neutralizing, just because even when you neutralize Tristana, it doesn't feel nearly as rewarding as neutralizing a lot of the other mid lane picks, because she's not as susceptible to counter picks as a lot of the other mid laners, right? If Azir comes in and stuff, there's a lot of counter picks to Azir, right? Xerath is open. Ziggs is obviously banned here. But other like artillery mages exist, right? Aurelion Soul
I think a key
is
thing though
champion
for
exists,
Kai'Sa is that
even though people
it's
haven't been
like
playing him,
just
Vyvern
because she's an
exists, people
AD,
don't play him.
a lot of the support you pair with Kai'Sa are very good 3v3 mids, and you can.
See, just because
There's a lot of
I'm kind
details in the
feeling
game
these
that
two
can
junglers,
make
I
you
also think Ivern
survive
is
the
really
early
broken
Drake
right now.
stacking, and I think
And I
that
agree with what you
it
said
isn't that
about
black and white that Kai'Sa is
especially
completely
considering
useless.
We did see 100 Thieves actually getting that early Drake stacking, right? It was becoming a huge pain point for TL. And do you see either of these junglers prioritizing the Ivern at all?
No, I don't see either of them prioritizing
Closer
Ivern,
playing it
but
once.
I do think Right, 100 Thieves could prioritize lane dominant champions and actually stack Drakes. And I think if that happens, Yun, when he has picked Kai'Sa, has not looked amazing on it. So
I agree with that take. I think Yon is not good.
For APA. So I think that like that would be a really big weak point, because I think that Pioshik also functions very, very poorly when his laners are not either neutral in lane or when they're actually just losing lane.
Okay. Well, I actually wish we had so much more time to pick your brain, but I know you probably want to get back to your stream and
It's
we
like,
have to get into game.
for sure,
Thank you
Kai'Sa.
so much for taking the time.
Kai'Sa?
It was a pleasure.
There's
as
a lot of
always.
champions, guys.
And we will toss it to the cast.
There's a lot of champions. It's like you can categorize champions in two ways, right? There's like champions that are really good on 1 core, 2 core, and champions that dominate the game after 3 core. Kai'Sa dominates the game after 3 core 100%. But it isn't, it's like Kai'Sa being slightly weaker than some other AD champions on 1 core. It's not polarizing enough, I think, to put Kai'Sa in that box. And I think the big miss for most teams is that people don't understand, like people don't understand that most teams don't understand how to leverage support to actually contest through mid. What box is Samira? I don't think Samira is an AD carry. That's my take. I don't think Samira is an AD carry. But Samira is definitely a 1-2. 1-2 peeker.
Keeping that away from Summit, he's proved himself to be more than capable of absolutely smashing the lane on it time and time again. 100 Thieves with one more band to go, letting themselves think about this one all the way down to the very end of the clock, and it'll be the Poppy.
So a decent number of responses in the bans. Poppy knocked away and Azir knocked away. And I will say, even though it's only been 1 week and the game was still sloppy,
Xayah, good first pick.
TL did improve their mid game. Right? I think it was a better mid game than they showed against Energy.
Aatrox is open, Rakan is open. I think that's the big one. Like they slammed Xayah because Rakan is open. That's the whole tech here.
By pushing side lanes, not dying for most of it, does show growth. 100 Thieves needs a way to nip that in the bud. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought either a better side lane pick so they can keep control of the side lane waves a little bit better, or just way more engaged.
I think they're going to draft all hard engage. I think that's almost guaranteed what 100 Thieves is going to do in this one, just because I feel like they floundered so heavily around the Baron. You know, they didn't.
They get Rakan.
Once they hit Soul Point, it felt like. Yep.
Isn't Rakan Maokai just GG? Rakan Maokai just GG, no? Just go fucking Rakan. Just pick Rakan, please.
I do think, you know, Renata can have a lot of value, but I think that, you know, when you're looking at how 100
You have a skin, Go JJ.
All they want to do is play for objectives. They just need a lot
I didn't open Twitter. I never opened Twitter.
especially if you're going to be going up against Xayah.
Not gonna lie, guys. Twitter is quite the useless platform. At least for me personally. If you find value, derive value from it, God bless you. But for me, really useless. I go there to post links to my YouTube videos. Alright, K'Sante gets locked in. Interesting how many pivots happened already.
Even though Summit was slamming him in the 1v1, Sunday still had presence in some of the fights. He had a couple of good plays there. We'll see what 100 Thieves wants to do here. I'm curious if they're going to put Closer back on the Rel, because I wasn't impressed. I feel like it's just not one of those champions that lines up with Closer being...
Alright, let's see quit on something else that isn't Azir.
So we'll see the Tristana locked in instead.
Yeah, so this does generally mean that the Kai'Sa is going to be moving bot lane.
It's weird because it's like in LEC, in LCS, I prefer the comps that are the 3 core hitters.
The picks that APA at least has been playing on stage. Jace, those are his top 3.
It's currently blue side should be stronger on 1-2. Like on 1-2, they should be able to snowball the game. It's weird to me that Maokai doesn't get locked and no Sejuani prior or nothing. So it's weird. Very strange.
Career long, I believe his most played.
I don't know what's up.
They really are trying to, I think, put him in an uncomfortable position here. And we'll have to see. Oh, excuse me, it was most played this year, 3rd most played in his career.
It's a bully draft. It's a bully draft from 100 Thieves. They're saying this guy is new. His nerves were looking really bad in their previous.
And now, like, I hope Closer can play Ivern, no? Ivern is just insane here.
And play the way he wants to play. Maokai banned out from TL, so they want to keep that jungler away. Let's see if 100 Thieves wants to continue pinching that mid lane pool. I mean, at this point, you've honestly, like you're talking about, Azale, you've pinched it so much, like go harder. Like if you're gonna bully, be a career bully here for 100 Thieves.
Oh, actually, I like this. So I think maybe the read is he could play something like an Ari.
I think Ivan
good pairings with it.
is so strong.
Put him in an uncomfortable position where it's like, okay, you can play Ari, but you're not going to play it with a good jungle pairing, so you're going to be playing this kind of
Also like rel jungle and pick. Probably is not possible. Never mind.
Is going to be going for. So I think it's a pretty intelligent draft thus far.
Oh, Ivan banned. Good.
The Vi ban is technically a jungle ban, but
Rel jungle is still good here. You can play Nautilus. I think Nautilus is not bad.
All right, 100 Thieves. We still need to see a top laner and either a jungler or support out of these guys. I'm still going on record saying I would rather see the Rel in the support position, put closer on something that seems a little bit more closer style to allow him to get more involved in the game. But no, it looks like we're gonna get Nautilus in the support role most likely. Technically, those two could still flex. It could be Nautilus jungle, it could be Rel support, but we are expecting Nautilus support.
Honestly, I'd respect a little Trundle.
The response there now with that information.
I'd respect a little Trundle.
I mean, they haven't been super troll with their hovers so far. I was actually expecting
Diego Nico.
I wasn't expecting the Viego. This is out of left field. The Nico, not as much. That is one of the things he's had the one-off pick with. They actually played it, I believe, Nico Lee Sin the last time they paired this up, but it's still going to be something that fits the team composition. It was something that was really overpowered earlier on in the split, but has fallen off of late.
I mean, if you turned off the nameplates, you say, oh yeah, Closer's grabbing his Viego.
I feel like Red Side is easier to play in this one, guys.
Pioshik has 0 plays on it the whole year. He did not play a single Viego.
I feel like Red Side's got that NA about it.
Which is pretty interesting. All time,
Teal's composition requires some level of precision, and I think if
timer or anything like that, but Nico has really kind of fallen out of favor with some of the nerfs. Was massively popular in the early weeks of the split, where it was kind of super OP, has really kind of tailed off. So APA going towards something that he is comfortable on. I believe I was told that when he was coming up, he was initially a Nico one-trick. I want to say some of the Academy guys were telling me that about APA.
I thought it was Aurelion Sol.
That was his solo Q one-trick.
Oh, that was his solo. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm excited to see him play on it. We've already known that he's got kind of a reputation for being willing to play the stuff that not everybody else always wants to go after. Pioshik on the Viego, if you get resets versus this composition, you have so much combos. You take the Rel body or the Tristana body, you hop, then you use your Viego ulti to hop again. You're playing Super Mario at this point, just jumping on guys.
Absolutely, and 100 Thieves end up with a draft that is kind of what I was expecting after this game one. It's 3 forms of engage. They're saying, okay, Rel didn't really work out. We added Nautilus, we added Ornn, we put Doublelift on more of a playmaking carry here, someone that he can be proactive on the Kai'Sa. You have these 2 fairly mobile ADs. It's going to be
Walter.
Guaranteed. You're going to have the AD build.
Walter.
So you have that split damage, you have 3 forms of engage, you have scaling, you have 5v5, and it's going to be about if they can really make that work in the 5v5. Because on the other side, there's some power.
It's like I prefer Red Side here because I think Blue Side needs to play very well. Yeah, you have to play Blue Side quite well. You need to snowball, you need to hit the right beats, you need to keep pressuring on invade, you need to secure 6-minute Drake, you need to secure Rift Herald, second Drake, and you need to keep going, keep going. But on the flip side, right, I feel like a lot of teams don't have the patience to scale.
Obviously prioritize Zaya higher than Tristan this time. I mean, despite us winning the game, I felt like the game wasn't like too much of a given for us. Like it was more of like them playing like the game super bad and not super bad. So I think just the way, looking at the way they just kind of annoyed. So you want to play like a faster game, more like wing type of game. Level 1 was going down, not too great for you guys. Tell me back. Obviously, very crazy game 1. How's the team holding up? Everything's fine. Yeah, we're just like hyped, but a bit worried because if you look at the game, but we're just like trying to focus as much as possible. All right, cool. I'll let you go to rewatch that level 1. We'll head back to the casters. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh my god, I know.
Everything's fine.
He's like, he looks at Mark's like, after that level 1, he just goes, oh.
Just that moment as Rainover actually wasn't looking at the screen and realizes that the early game is completely blown up with kills going to Tristana and Kai'Sa. What a disaster. I mean, Busio and
Bro, Code JJ, why does he start with W like that?
to be able to reset over the wall and also pick up the second kill onto APA, hugely clutched by 100 Thieves, because the thing I was going to say about this draft is
Crazy.
we have to carry. Rel, Ornn, I think, yeah, it's good in 5v5 team fights. That's a terrible top side. Like, if someone ever gets ahead, nothing can threaten K'Sante the whole game except for just the Tristana and the Kai'Sa. It's so uniformly two threat. Like, the previous times that Closer someday shut down Summit, let's say like back in 2022 playoffs, it's just Closer was playing like a Lee Sin or Viego and he could gank top. Like, if Rel or Ornn gets fed, it doesn't matter. Summit's still going to be able to...
Who's CoJJ, guys?
We think about K'Sante and the way the champion likes to play. When you think about all the matchups that people like to pick into him, like the Kennen from the last game, the Gwen that got banned out in the previous game, he loves to itemize armor. Iceborne Gauntlet, Sunfire Cape, these things are his preferred items. And so when you're only threatening
Cancun JJ.
it's just a dream game for Summit on this K'Sante. Meanwhile, bottom, Closer's coming down.
Rib Bozo. Oh. Oh.
As Closer ends up eating a whole lot of pain and not really
That's a combo. That's a real combo right there.
The ghost off Yon though, so that is big, so well worth it. And we also have to remember, even though it is
He could Q flash there, I think.
going AP, and they're gonna look for the dive on Yon.
Oh, good dive, good dive. Holy, good dive. Let's go. Easy, easy. Bro, Summit is fucked. Summit fucked his whole lane too. What are we gonna do? Send Zaya top? Send Zaya top at 3 minutes? What are we doing?
And Summit, winning that top lane 1v1, has to spend his TP to try to cover
It's a disaster, mate.
which relieves the pressure on top side. So this is the re-dive here. They wanted to try to stay around, but core is so low, we can't help to defend Yon. And it's a great initial start here from Busio. Gets a passive auto, then uses the hook to lock down the recon as well, setting up Doublet for that double kill perfectly.
Yeah, what an absolute dream start for 100 Thieves. They
Someday doesn't crash the wave on time.
get 3 kills onto their carry double lift, but also Someday gets the pressure relieved. Like, there's no organic way to make Ornn okay in that lane versus the K'Sante.
No, Summit and Someday, these names are way too close. I'm going to be completely twisting these names all day.
Not get one shot by the Kai'Sa Tristana. If that goes awry with how the other 2 lanes are going, it could end up being a quick 100 Thieves win.
Man, 2,000 gold, 4.5 minutes in. Doublet with 100% kill participation and owning 3 of them himself. This is perfect for the side of 100 Thieves. Team Liquid have a lot of work to do getting back into this one. And I think after game number 1, where Team Liquid got back into the game with that Baron sneak, 100 Thieves is going to be more aware than ever of plays like that and should be constantly and consistently checking to make sure Team Liquid's not up to anything as the clock goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be trying to watch out for those kind of shenanigans, but I also think that TL's comp is much worse at those kind of shenanigans because Nico doesn't have that same level of consistent damage, right? You know, basically need Yon involved in any sort of a Baron play for that to have any realistic chance of it happening. And now I just want to see, can 100 Thieves utilize this lead and expand upon it, right? Because you look at these buys, they both have a D-Blade and a Longsword. It's a noon quiver to that second Longsword for Yon, so massively favored buys. 400 Thieves. And
was game 1 close? Yeah, it was close. I'd say it's close. It was close game, yeah.
Yeah, Piosik just ready to immediately intercept.
Close as flash and W.
Double Lift trading with Yon, but now has to back off as his jungler hard lost the fight there in the river. Piosik up a level, had the advantage that he was already ready. And
Ghana teams will really enjoy their advantage on one core.
Killed someone on the top side there. It was actually forcing his flash on that Ornn ulti as he went in really aggressive. Tried to actually burst him down. Now he has to be careful though because he's out of resources, and this is where K'Sante.
Ooh, Summit, that's Q3. Come on, man. This is you better than this, Summit.
Doing a good job sidestepping away from that one. He's played both sides of K'Sante versus everything so much at this point. He's got to be aware of what the K'Sante game plan is when you drop the ulti there. So nice little bit of footwork from him. Gets out of the way.
Yeah, I think this overall sequence.
Wow, look at Kai's items already. 6 minutes, guys. 6 minutes. How crazy is that?
But Piosik had an experience advantage on Closer, and he showed up to bot lane first. So
that is crazy. Bro, if Double Lift doesn't carry this game, if Double Lift, yeah, sidestep is a bit of a... My mind just Q3'd. If Someday tried to walk into it, he wouldn't be able to catch it.
Stack up the neutral objectives until the game is over. And
were you close with the plays on Sandbox? there was no home, bro. We all lived in the same house.
Comfortable ending games through side lanes, not really comfortable looking for alternative wing additions.
I had my own room, and I slept next. My room was next to Gorilla Summit
And find their wins there.
and I believe Root.
Playing that soul is going to be really nice, but it is still a nearly 2K lead here. 400 Thieves, 7 minutes in, which is obviously massive. The Shiv is going to be done on next base here for Doublelift. He only needs a couple hundred gold. So that is going to be incredible.
The job was the life back then, guys. It was a good time.
Kraken, as he knows he's going to have to be dealing with this Cassante. So 100 Thieves off to a great start. And I want to see them looking to play towards Herald. They have this big gold advantage. They need to be continuing to expand that. They didn't get the early dragon with their...
Yeah, team houses are great considering the age of most teams with esports players. Red side outscales, yeah. They outscale pretty damn hard. If this game is even at 20 minutes, it's a big GG for 100 Thieves, and they already have a massive lead. Like, it's very important though. It's like them having a lead should not make them want to play faster. Like this lead, they will enjoy it as the game progresses. Yeah, Root is in CB lol, yes. Is Appa Yagao or Scout Nico? Appa is like...
1v1 off to the side, but Summit joins up. He goes all out. He brings Quid back underneath the turret, and Team Liquid ends up taking out the enemy mid laner, but 100 Thieves finish off the Herald at the same time.
Wow.
They still get the Herald, and because TL didn't have their AD actually moving, Yon only committed halfway.
I think a lot of pro players
even after that kill, if they committed to the
would be
fight,
so good if they recognize more often when they need to do nothing. Doing nothing is really... Master the art of doing nothing. Master the art of doing less.
Yeah, as long as they can use this Herald aggressively for either mid or bot lane, I think accelerating Doublelift is the #1 thing they want to do in this game. Kaisa on this patch, as even Alas was talking about between segments here.
Big though that red side got the Herald.
Really turns on, and I think that's how
Still, red side, you know, they will enjoy their leads on big bases, you know. It's like even though Kaiser's 301 and she had monster items, the Cloak of Agility is not that big of a deal. And recipe purchases is really what is going to swing you into favor, you know. That's why I say it's very important that the 100 Thieves don't overplay their hand, because the fruits of their labor, or the enemy's labor, because they gave a lot of free kills, right? It will be enjoyed later. Alright, nice from Busio here. I like that Yon also like doesn't R for no reason, you know.
Spinning a flash and a ghost to get away from 100 Thieves. The Thieves not really hurt at all, continuing this push, wanting to get the wave crashed in. Summit tried to force that extra plate back down on the top side at the same time, but won't quite have enough to get it.
Yeah, probably if I was in Doublelift's shoes, like sure, you guarantee that you finish static shiv on base, but I think he could have maybe considered buying a Cull instead of Cloak of Agility in that spot. I think it would have been a really good buy. Alright, one TP, Quid's TPing, Ornn is TPing, everybody's here, everybody's enjoying. Appa with the ult on the turret, Quid took turret aggro, but Closer is just in the dumpster. Here once again, it's like 100 Thieves should be so happy with crushing wave. Like imagine here, Doublelift crashes this wave, bases, and he has a static shiv, and then maybe they can contest this wave. But now instead, they don't base on their timer, they don't have a tempo swing, and they make it very easy for enemy to actually set up for the Drake. It's like, why are they looking for this, you know? It's like, Cassante based, you have TP advantage top, you have all of the means to really, like, really win the game here. But instead they're pressuring for a dive that wasn't necessary at all. Keep in mind the position, right? Cassante based top. And the reason he based top is because he wanted to cross the Drake. And 100 Thieves had TP on Ornn. So It was a great time. But I think 100 Thieves, they're overplaying their hand because they feel like they are ahead. But they had static shift and base on double lift. You know, their combat gold was not significantly better. The enemy team composition was still quite strong. And the fact that you managed to crash bot wave and you could base, you're already super winning. Don't need to overplay. Good swap into top side though, really good swap. We didn't see it out of replay, but they swapped into top on Drake and then Zara Khan and based. Like, this was a very good swap from 100 Thieves. Really good swap. I really like the swap. Team Liquid didn't know what the fuck hit him, by the way. Like, they pushed in bot and they secured Drake and then Orange showed up and it's good stuff.
As far as a lead at 12 minutes in an individual matchup, that is a huge lead for a team. He is the entire lead right now, so Doublelift must have a good game. Already has
Doublelift
Shiv here early on, is going to be getting a very
almost has Nash's tooth. They got a full turret top.
Going to have to start fighting dragons here. It is Hextech, which is incredibly powerful, you know, for both sides, but especially I think, you know, 100 Thieves, if you can get that as double marksman, that would be amazing. So they got to be setting up for those and trying to utilize this power from Double.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that they were able to get the solo turret for him. As we've been talking about a lot, so apologies if this is a broken record, but every playoffs, summer playoffs Doublelift has been in since 2015. This is crazy. He's won. 2015 through 2020, he won every single summer playoffs. He takes 2 years.
Silly question from Bronze Game. Unless I misread it, Kraken says it has 60% to 120% AP ratio on it.
Lower bracket, already down a game to Team Liquid, but does have two-item Kai'Sa at 13.
Let me double check that.
Seconds. Team competition completely requiring him and Quid to do.
Let me double check that. So there's 60% AP scaling, and every time you proc on a target, it does 50% more damage, and it stacks up to 100%. Thing is, Perfect Sage, in a lot of cases, the champions that want to buy AAP, it's like inherently, the stats of Kraken synergize better with other crit items, right? And there's no AP items that have crit. There's no champions that have enough synergy. Maybe you could do like a hybrid build, or maybe Kale, where you buy like Kraken 3rd, 4th, but it is hard to justify it over buying the other AP items. It's just that there is too many anti-synergies with Kraken that incentivize you to not do it. The only reason that AP scaling is there is because they want you to not feel as bad for buying Ginzu, because that item has AP, or maybe Nash's Tooth. Okay. Oh, Kai'Sa should run this game now. Doublelift has ult. I think Doublelift ate a full Nico Q, just dry. Just dry.
Pioshik secures the Herald, gets multiple kills. He's now 3-0 on the Viego, already had the Triforce, and he gets the Herald to drop here. 100 Thieves really
I think not buying sorcerer shoes and not buying a dagger, I think is troll. I think it's better than the book, Lost Chapter. Let's take a look at Doublelift, how he played this again, because I feel like something was very strange here.
Very good angles, and I think 100 Thieves obviously wants to get the pick on a core today, but that's a lot of cooldowns burned on a support.
Why? Yeah. Okay. So he got R'd by APA and then rooted. That's why he took Q damage. Okay. Okay.
So Summit can just blast
Okay.
over the wall, and that's I think the win condition for Team Liquid. It's not about the Yawn versus Doublelift matchup. It's can K'Sante just kill Kai'Sa? And until Kai'Sa gets enough items, that will be true. Doublelift trying to close in on that third huge power spike item for Kai'Sa.
I mean, it's kind of just everyone versus Doublelift, honestly, is going to be the story of this game. You know, it wasn't even just APA, it wasn't even just Summit. Yawn Ghost Flash ultied onto Doublelift. They're all piling in to try to get that big shot.
Good as well, Doublelift didn't look like confident to actually kill the Rakan there.
So they're going to try to force it, but this means they're going to lose 2 turrets mid for this. Potentially even more than that, which
I don't think this is a bad Ginzu's game.
call.
honestly.
Yeah, 100 Thieves really hard committing to keeping Team Liquid away from Soul Point. Not even
Appa
Soul,
means father in
just
many
Soul Point.
languages.
The Herald about to get its charge off onto the third turret in mid lane.
It's just 100 Thieves Drake, guys.
Damage done to the 100 Thieves infrastructure here.
And they can
It's a big Drake though, so I don't mind too much. They'll be able to delay this game now to 3 core because of this Drake, so... Let's see now Team Liquid can do like sneaky beaky Nashers. That's what it's gonna come down to.
2 kills at level 1, 1 going to quit and 1 to double lift. To be 6 kills to 6, 500 gold down, up 1 Drake, has got to feel pretty good for Team Liquid.
Absolutely, and Piotrek is going to be closing in on his second item, right? And Viego, from that point, could potentially snowball, but they're looking for a dive on Yon.
Would you call 100 Thieves if you got an offer? No. I don't get this. I don't get this.
Incredibly strong. You have to respect the power he has in this game.
Nico is top hitting turret for free. And somehow there's a fight. Somehow.
APA though playing out towards those side lanes, and 100 Thieves are just going to commit to going through mid. It's just Piotrek here defending. I don't think he's
craziness.
So.
Yeah, 1v3, that Viego is not feeling too confident. Yes, only double lift is the real damage threat, but the other two have so much CC that Viego can just never move if he gets caught by anything. So he will at least be able to clear the wave out long enough to defend that tier 1 turret at the...
Did you get offer from NA org? Yeah. Plenty of times. I don't think there's been a year where I didn't.
Okay.
Especially for Team Liquid.
For the last...
In the mid game, they constantly have
Yeah, ever since 2015.
And then Summit would die in side lanes, or they'd make bad team fight decisions and they'd lose. They did manage to come back.
I don't think I'll ever go to NA in my career.
The game has improved, and they need to win this game through the side lanes. They cannot just walk up.
It would have to be like really the right combination of players.
Nautilus engage and expect good things to happen. They have to prep their side lanes, they have to flank, and they have to play creatively. So it is going to be really tough for Team Liquid to win.
Would you close Golden Guardians? I don't think it's interesting enough, no. That's a strong roster though.
I want to see them coordinate on these engages, right? You talk about this.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in living in LA, but I don't think that would matter. Like if I go to NA, I go there to work, you know. I wouldn't care about the lifestyle, whatever the fuck.
They're going to be able to pull that off. And second item already done now for Piotrek. He's going towards Steric, so he is really powerful. They're playing through bot. As the answer is for 100 Thieves, just go back through top. Quid's pushing up there. Double Closer and Busio around mid. So they should be able to eventually secure this mid lane tier 1, and they're pushing on that top lane tier 2, but Piotrek is here to threaten.
APA wants to clear out the wave, but he's not going to clear it all out in time. They're dropping the depth charge on the real Nico.
Alright, they got enough done. I like that 100 Thieves back off after they got that done. Warren is still pushing, and they made everybody show. I think that's good.
Uses the clone to block the initial play, then is able to just get back to the turret, uses that ulti defense.
I would for sure coach in as a LPL.
Out of Busio for just the ulti there from APA. 100 Thieves do bully down the tower, maintain a very small gold lead here.
Surely Gummy Worms
Really has all of it, so the other
are available in Germany too.
pretty behind at this point.
Alright, Team Liquid, let's see if they notice that the enemy doesn't have vision here.
Some of the ways the Team Liquid came back in the last game, they just started flipping objectives. That could definitely be in the cards. I don't think they're going to do it at 20 minutes with Baron, but
I'll be down to coach in LPL.
At the Drakes, like yes, 100 Thieves has a lot of engage, but unless they find the right trigger pull, the biggest fights are going to be around the next Drake in a minute 30.
Not so sure what I think about this Sterak's second purchase here on Viego. Like they did buff it on this patch, but
next time he goes back to base,
it does look strange.
Here, you know, at 20 minutes, having enough gold for that is ridiculous. And then
I wonder if Black Cleaver would just be better, you know.
You have that Luden's poke, you're looking to chunk down all these members. Yes, Summit will be tanky, you don't want to be hitting the Xante. He even went for a Spirit Visage build.
Yeah.
But besides that, everyone else is actually a pretty high value target. No one is going to be that durable.
It's so difficult too, especially if things go the way that Jat's saying, where it's going to be these big explosive fights around objectives to deal with that Void Seeker spam. Even if you are just hitting Summit, you're at least getting the cooldown back. Okay, 3 seconds till the next one, no big deal, right? Those things are so obnoxious around these objectives, and especially for targets like everybody else on the team not named Summit, those things are going to hurt if they stack up. And you know that
I would love to coach T1.
Sit back and play protect the double lift as he tries to land that poke.
I mean, that's 3 items to 1.5.
Double doesn't have E upgrade right now.
Normally, Kai'Sa is going to get to these 3 items at about 25, 26 minutes. That's how accelerated Doublelift is right now. He's completed them before the 4th dragon even spawns.
I mean, he has a monster lead, but it also means with the gold almost even, that Piotrek has a huge lead and Summit has a huge lead, right? So
It's 13-13 LPL finals.
It's going to be about this dragon setup here. Summit did go back to base, but he's using the Hextech gates to get out.
Oh yeah, I think Vitality would be a very interesting challenge, but I think I could easily make this Vitality roster a top 3 team minimum. I would retire from coaching if I don't make this Vitality roster top 3.
Now turning their attention back over to the Drake. APA using the clone recall trick to try to get a little bit of scouting down, but no, the Drake is secured by 100 Thieves.
Nicely done. Just that initial chunk onto Summit, I think, was enough to dissuade TL from trying to bully their way.
I for sure can.
Would have had to lead the way if they wanted to move into.
I for sure can.
Moving up towards the top side, they want to clear out vision around that Baron and potentially force the TP off APA because he's showing bot right now.
They kill this so fast, and they
APA is TP. I don't like this from 100 Thieves. Way too sporadic.
They do decide to play it slow.
I think it would be an okay call to start it, get the TP. You know what I'm gonna say? This is a result of last game. How bad their Baron start went.
Yeah.
But now the Baron attempt is better. It's like they chunked Xayah to 1, and if they stuck around, like cancel recall once, like they could have done Nash here, by the way.
That's actually a moment to me where if they end up losing this game, they're gonna look back of like they could have just started that Baron. They're not gonna take damage because of the Ornn. They have amazing turn, and they have way more damage on their carries. That would have been a way to jump start this game.
And I think, Jet, you've been talking a lot about Team Liquid's faults throughout the split and sort of how they've had good early games, but unlucky mid games, we can call them. On the side of 100 Thieves,
I think with that second W hit on Xayah, everyone should cancel recalls and they should hit Nash.
The lack of making a play, the fact that they seem to be content with sort of just do nothing and scale, but you can't just always do that. You've got to make a decision at some point.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, is this going to come back and bite them? Because otherwise, I don't know.
Look at Someday. He's moving up towards mid lane, so they're looking for an engage around mid or a Baron start, because APA is staying bot. This time I think 100 Thieves absolutely will start the Baron if there's not a response here. They're moving up, and they move somebody all the way from bot, so yeah, they're going to start it right now.
Critically, though, both APA
Kaiser's AP Prince of Winter.
so they're much stronger than the last time.
I don't like this from 100 Thieves, like this is so unprovoked. Alright, good timing on E there. Like the timing there from E, but double lift is on a flank. Alright, good W from double lift. Holy W, the double lift W'd Xayah while in his ult. If Bo was on the Zaza, then Selfmade is the Zaza. Selfmade has not played a competitive game in a very long time. Alright, Doublift is delivering. That was a good sequence from Doublift. Kind of weird there that he's on the blue, but... Youngbuck isn't active, right? So Youngbuck grabs are not active.
Was picture perfect on APA, and even though APA did survive for a while, Double was able to get in the back line, finish him off, and this is the kind of play the 100 Thieves needed to make. This is why they drafted so much engage, and we can watch it one more time on the TP coming in.
Yeah, and Doublift is just so fed. So amazing knockup by Someday onto APA, but then Doublift just being on Kai'Sa, knowing when he can fly in. Really good timing, because there's no counter engage that can follow him here. He also dumps a bunch of damage down onto Yon, and once that's done, those are carries taken care of. The rest of the fight should be easy.
I mean, it was a beautiful fight from Doublift. He found the angle from the pit to hit the Void Seeker on APA right as he arrives, right as he gets knocked up. And then
this is indeed the patch where Aatrox is broken.
Space from the rest of the team. Max range ulti over the wall there. Gets that final kill. I believe his Void Seeker right as he was going in with his ulti.
Well, it doesn't. You don't have to speculate a lot. Douglas was playing actively.
And this is now an 8-kill Kai'Sa here. Nearly has the death cap completed. We're into a pause, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. But hopefully it'll be a quick one.
Man, Team Liquid coming to what they thought was going to be a good fight, but right into the waiting arms of the Ornn knockup on APA. Yeah. That was beautiful. You said it, Isaac. The timing was perfect. That's one of those things where if you get it right, you look amazing. But if you get it wrong, you're going on a funny fail.
At least APA is smiling. Like it seemed like he was choking a little bit, I think.
APA getting popped at the very start of that fight. Yeah. Pop Blossom only hit the tanks, right? It only hit Someday. It only hit Closer. Practically no value at all.
Doublelift now, 13,600
Yeah, of course.
gold.
Bo is a very strong player. Like, obviously, Vitality.
Now Piotrek at
Everyone on Vitality looked worse than expected. So,
9,000, so
it was just a team dynamic that didn't work.
1,000 gold, about 45
Who you should blame for that?
ahead of where Jan is at this point. It's a ridiculous lead. He's closing in on that death cap at 25 and a half minutes here. And Doublelift has everything he does need to try to take over this game. But it must be pointed out, he has no flash. And Core has his flash, Summit has his flash, APA has his flash, so he will be a massive target. And
I think Perks was pretty fucking garbage in summer.
Force before that summoner is back up, because Doublelift has to die, and has to die quickly in a fight.
Yeah, I'd expect them to try and kind of go for an all-in fight around the next Drake spawn. We'll get information on the pause as soon as possible as well, but it is looking like the series is going to move to 1-1. As some of the players look like they've been given permission to leave the stage briefly, so the fans have been very vocal today. It's great to see. This is such an important series, right, for both teams. Like, Doublelift, his legacy in the LCS of winning every summer split from 2015 through 2020.
Right, let me bring something. I have an idea.
Retiring midway through the split, it not going well at all in summer to now being here. We're long away from a turnaround. He's yet to win a playoff game, but if he could pull it off, it would be incredible.
While we wait for this pause to resolve, let's go ahead and listen to Jan's thoughts on going up against Doublelift in his very first playoff series.
For our upcoming match against 100 Thieves, I think they were very shaky in the regular season, but I'm pretty sure they're a good playoff team, so I'm excited to play against them as well.
Bro.
My matchup against Doublelift is pretty much the same as I
Look at these goggles, man.
think him as another Berserker, FPI, Unforgiven, 6A.
Look at these goggles.
It's all the same. I mean, if you turn the nameplates off, they're just Kaisa.
Yeah, you're just playing a single player.
Perks never winning a trophy again. I think Perks should be a super player.
One of the ways that you can try to keep your cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of players do try to look at it in that way, right? And I think people will maybe meme on him for that answer a little bit, but I do think it speaks to kind of the mentality you have to have. You can't be intimidated by the opponents, right? You can't be intimidated by the people that you're going up against. And that's something that I think a lot of players will talk about when they're first coming up into the pro leagues. You know, you come from Academy, all these guys that you've watched for years.
Is Busio the most underrated super player of all time?
To kind of model your game after.
It's a pretty big question.
Sitting across from them, you're playing up against them. If you
I doubt it.
give them that respect in your mind, it's like you're almost defeating yourself before you even
I think Missing might be one of the most underrated supers of all time.
Yeah.
In solo queue, just be like, I don't know this guy.
Anyone that is actually the best support or in the conversation of best support was so underrated in the context of everyone hyping up Korea. And that's not Korea's fault.
I don't see any refs, so I'm assuming it's not a tech issue. You know, everyone is kind of just milling about, so maybe
It might have been a bio break. I'm not sure.
might have been. That was kind of my guess too.
That's
honestly.
my assumption.
Yeah, with no refs there.
Yep.
What is bio?
What did you fancy watch you wear on the LEC? I wore very different watches,
Biological break.
Like a reaction
but I have a Psycho,
Chemical hazard
I
on
was
the
like,
stage.
dude, I didn't even know we had
a Final Fantasy VII limited edition Psycho. I have a Rolex Submariner,
See, that's
and I also have a Daytona.
It's like that biohazard symbol. I was like, okay, man, I'm not
We're
really
getting on
sure.
pause. Let's go.
Yeah, I've been told that we are about
Yeah, for sure, Korea. I thought Korea was the best support in spring, yeah.
and a half minutes in. It's a 3,000 gold lead
But-
for 100 Thieves. It's 2 Drakes to 2 Drakes. Someday Chargers go.
My point was more about the fact that
Not really sure what this one's all about. He has to flash away back.
we were talking about all other supports like they are human garbage.
Interesting. So there's been
You know?
multiple Ornn upgrades. He hasn't actually upgraded Doublelift though. He did upgrade.
I think that's where a lot of supers get underrated.
Actually, do Doublelift probably just wasn't close to him on the map. Is what my assumption is.
Either not close to him or because Kaisa finishes the mythic third, maybe when he hit his level, it had.
I don't know where I got these glasses, honestly.
Doublelift almost has death.
I just have them.
I was trying to play.
These are my Heimerdinger glasses.
My guess is he just wasn't buying, right? And he's just like, stats are stats. But it is surprising because usually when someone's having a monster game, they get the first upgrade every time.
Bro, Doublelift just fucking doesn't give a shit about you upgrade.
All right, APA staying disguised as Core JJ pretty frequently throughout this game. So still does not want to get hit by any of those Void Seekers. 100 Thieves looking to put some pain under the tier 2 turbid here in the bottom lane.
strong.
Closer off to the side. APA only going to lose the clone. Ornhorn summoned up. Someday, right.
Boom.
Rights worth 3 points, but nothing here in League of Legends.
Boom. Oh, misses the... Oh. Oh. Bro, they get wallet gapped here, but shit was spooky.
But he found the reset of the double left. Will
shit was spooky, bro. You know, they can just enjoy the fact that Zaya has 1 HP and take Nexus, right? Instead they have to make it volatile. It is crazy, you know, you guys, this is such a good showcase of a team elevating risk when it's not necessary. Let's say you're fighting a bear, okay? You're fighting a bear, but this bear has walked in bear traps and this bear is slowly bleeding out. How are you going to approach that bear? You're going to let it bleed out from a distance and you're not going to give it a single chance to swipe at you, right? You're going to always cover distance. This was the equivalent of this game, right? After the dive on bot and after the fucking kill in level 1, the enemy team was a bleeding bear. All you had to do was play your hand solid. But instead they are provoking the bear, poking with a stick and creating volatility when it's not necessary.
After game 1, he looked pretty mad. And in this game, when you're the 4-0 Viego and everyone else is dead, that makes you pretty mad. So what's he gonna come back with in game?
Hello, Hypersmile2, thank you very much for the 5 months, I appreciate you, thank you. Exclamation mark call. There's no one at the call, I'm all alone.
You kind of wonder what the takeaways are from game 2. If you're
All alone by a table of food in my wrinkled suit and my borrowed time.
Separately from that, is this style of a draft going to be problematic? Because it gives 100 Thieves...
If you can bottle bear blood before fresh oxygen deteriorates it, then you can sell it for a pretty penny. So it's pretty smart to approach the bear as it's bleeding.
And weirdly enough, think about this last fight. This could have been the window back for Team Liquid. Like, they actually got Double. If Double flew in for the kill on John, that's where they're able to land this massive stun from APA, actually.
Would you be assistant coach or advisor of any team during off-season?
At the same time, but he's just so fed, right?
I wouldn't mind doing some
Isn't really in range to do damage, and you can't quite
advisory work.
enough for Piosa.
And one of the biggest things is that Double still had his ulti shield from the killer. And that looked like, you know, just kind of eyeballing it like 700 shields.
I love when people get trolled. People get trolled by other people in chat. Like, my chat is filled with so many trolls. But I let them be.
When he has this big advantage, and they have to put so many resources into killing him, you have no option but to go for Double as TL, and that created so much time.
Would you coach Man City? Honestly, I'd do it for the lulz. I'd probably run it down, but I'd do it for the lulz. I'd gather everybody in the locker room and said, hey boys, I don't know shit about football, but I know about people and I know about men. So let's focus on the topics that is going to bond us together as men. Let's form this into a tribe. Let's get the buy-in from every individual here. Let's unite ourselves. Let's unite ourselves in our goal.
I felt so bad for Rainover as you were interviewing him during that. So this is kind of the classic, like...
I would just focus on managing the players and the people.
Exactly, yeah, everything is on fire now.
And I'd probably say, Man City, you guys need to hire a mind for football for me. Because I don't understand shit. Why did you give me this job?
And Double If just successively takes over this game.
He absolutely monsters this game. They did a good job making dives happen in the bot lane. That was so well played by Busio to initially land the hook. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. The initial route into the hook was just a really heads-up play of baiting Core JJ in.
I feel like the entertainment value of the stream has gone down lately, mostly because you look tired. Would you enter this as well? Would this get me flamed? Yeah, I'm borderline wanting to ban you.
So, like, I know it sounds sarcastic, but I actually have really enjoyed seeing Closer get a lot more involved. Not just in this game, in the game previously, it didn't work out, they still lost, but in here, he has still been able to do a lot with his lanes, a lot more than what we saw from him in the...
Nah, I'm gonna ban you too, Big Jeff. Posting your own tweets.
They had this Rift Herald fight, and then this play right here should have actually fully brought Team Liquid back in the game. This is a 5-man commit on a bot dive that Team Liquid turns with just 4 people and comes out 1-for-0. Huge ult out of APA this entire game. Gets a nice stop there from the follow-up getting to Closer because everyone was trying to get to this side of the screen, but him and Core JJ blocked that from happening. But the biggest thing is actually what happened on the backside of that fight.
Yeah,
Summit If you miss it,
NFL coaches are legit playing chess. Seems like the players are straight up
go back a little bit first. So if you go back,
just
Summit has actually
pawns.
reset. If you look at the minimap, he is right here because he was recalling to try and cover that bot dive, but he could have just.
A few weeks ago, it felt like you could dribble the stank in the chat.
And it was like one hit from getting it down to 3.
What do you mean?
It doesn't reset because he was behind this play anyways. He had no chance of making.
You realize currently you're the only stank in this chat.
He gets monstrously ahead. They turn this around
And I can dribble around you all day.
400 thieves, but because he goes
See you.
and he doesn't just go bot, he actually stays bot forever.
Battle cruiser
Thank you very much, Miss
operational.
Fatal.
To like set up for potential like bot play, like
Yeah, they.
cross-mapping.
I appreciate you, Miss Fatal. You one of the classics, my man. 22 months. That shit is crazy.
And Doublelift gets catapulted ahead after a failed play.
Yeah, here, pause here, just because, or go back a little bit, I guess. I did want to point out the vision coverage in the, because like what they do is they kind of waffle around bot side, and then they do set up these 3
ZMSPP is one of the weaker trolls of the chat.
But like you said,
He had enough chances, you know. He had many chances. We have some really classy trolls in the chat, you know. We have Frozen X, biggest Busio apologist in the world. We have professional Lizzo enjoyer, Steph Curry Sim.
Summit getting his own plates and 100 Thieves getting a free entire topside funneled into Doublelift. And Team Liquid played some of the mid-game fights out okay, but Doublelift was just so strong. And even in this,
Yes, hands on 420. Sue. Thank you very much. Gillia's bitch titties ass explosion.
keeps getting further
Pin that bitch.
Viego game and Summit having a decent Cassante game, it just wasn't enough to actually get all the way ahead. And you can see it's just a disaster for the side of Team Liquid after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other big thing was
How much are francs, by the way?
that big
Walter.
that ended up happening. There's we see
Damn.
okay, maybe they're clawing their way back in. They even peak a little bit up in there.
But that jump right
Twitch takes 60% of those donations. I have no clue.
That gold graph just continues going up in your direction. So unlucky there. Team Liquid almost fought their way back in, but 100 Thieves looking very good. Doublelift having an absolute monstrous performance. 23k damage. Closer getting involved. He did a good job playing around.
The game show host that kisses kids.
So this is the first time that we're going to swap things up. Very interesting there. Despite being 1-1 on blue side, they are jump and ship.
Yeah, it's been really interesting.
What are we clicking, guys? Let's look at this.
Hello, everyone. This is your daily dose of internet. This person has a pet ribbon worm and.
Fuck my life, bro. Blood.
This old guy decided to randomly harass this construction crew.
I'm totally serious for me. I just got assaulted by his old fuck.
I just got assaulted by this old fuck.
Don't worry, he wasn't hurt. These people thought it would be smart to get close to a bear.
Nah, bro. This is the bleeding. Look, it's it's guys. It's fucking what's it called? It's fucking 100 Thieves.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This poor bodyguard couldn't keep up with the singer.
What is that? Is that a perfect little tiny squirrel? Baby squirrel? Look at him. Look at him. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, I'm in love.
Bro.
This plane allows passengers to play against other passengers in a game of Battleship.
What the hell? First of all, it's fucking weird as fuck fucking making out with a fucking squirrel, and then my blood is gonna get rabies. Oh. Oh shit. That's crazy. Oh my god. Holy shit! Jesus. Holy shit.
I know most criminals aren't very smart, but this is very, very dumb. This guy was trying to hide from the police, but forgot to take off his high visibility vest.
Bro. What the fuck? This is Camille origin story.
I just learned that flamingos can make this sound.
I'm literally so close to him. Oh.
Hola, con permiso. Ya, me voy, me voy.
Water.
This little guy is exhausted after chewing on this box all day.
Holy shit.
Do you have something? Do you have something to say?
I had no idea that something like this was even possible. This baby snail is so light that it's able to crawl upside down on the water surface tension.
Just eating the surface film.
So weird.
That's so weird.
This beekeeper made a fully functional beehive out of Legos.
Frames I have inside the Lego beehive.
That is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoy.
Oh my god.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This guy went to go deliver a package when he saw that the homeowner left a note saying that he has permission to jump in their pool.
What the fuck?
He left something outside in the rain and had to go get it.
Murph, left-handed anger, left-handed anger.
Nah, bro. Bro. What the hell?
Battle cruiser operational. Delivery packages.
Bro, XS, thank you very much for the 2-1. Holy shit, the guy. Oh my god, why are there so many insects? Fuck this shit, dude.
This live streamer got upset with what a viewer called him.
What do you mean bro's built like a 1x1 Lego piece? What even is a 1x1 Lego piece? Yep, you're banned. Have a good night.
The sounds from his video sounds like a cartoon.
Oh, so cute. Oh my god.
This guy's grill caught on fire, so he thought of an actually pretty good idea.
The fuck?
Darren, do that again. Hit it with the apple. Hey, hit it with the apple. Hit it with the apple.
Here's an extreme close-up of how water and salt dance together.
Whoa. Whoa. What the fuck?
Come on, boo-boo, finish your breakfast. Oh! Oh, that was so nice. Oh, it's so nice. Oh.
It sounds like this dog is about to charge into battle.
What does it do?
Oh.
Just watched a man.
Bro, imagine
super
getting
old
that
man
blasted.
parked in like the middle of a crossing.
Yo.
And I was like, hey man,
Bunghole.
I don't think you can park there. And he was just like, oh, okay. He just left his car there though. It's kind of funny.
Good.
Bro. Not even practice shit like this. That's what you get for fucking.
It also makes me wonder.
All right, let's go.
Draft more physical damage and go for more of like a physical damage carry top, or is it going to be AD Kaisa?
I think it's going to be Rel support. I think because the Ahri is mid, it's too much. I don't think they can do Ahri AP Kaisa. I think
if you go like,
I don't think Ahri's mid. I think Ahri's pretty fucking hot actually.
On top or something, you just build merc treads and you kind of laugh, right? Like,
yeah. Okay, terrible joke.
That's locked, by the way.
Oh, okay. APA, it's left up. This is actually really exciting.
Casio.
You get to play one Casio game.
This is a dry Tristana bot. Not dry, they show Kaiser bot, right?
But this is one of the picks that he is really well known for. It is his most played this year, and all time it is his third most played, but he has an almost 77% win rate on it, 13 games played. So it is, you could say it's his most successful champion. TF he has 100% win rate on, but it's only a couple games, so we're not really going to count that.
Yeah.
But this is one of the picks that he's really well known for, and I'm excited to see what he can make happen. I will say the miasma.
Guys, it's Casio mid. What are you talking about? It's Tristana bot. You guys are on some smoke.
Same read that you guys are saying. I don't think it's jungle Rel this time around, just because of what that.
Let's see what kind of AD jungle is Close is cooking. Probably they will ban Lee here, TL. I wonder if they would be down to play some Wukong, bro.
He's like, well, maybe I should play the Rel. I like the fact that they also just locked in the Casio nice and early after seeing the enemy mid lane pick, because they know that APA will get.
What did 100 teams ban? We can't see.
They actually double banned Closer's jungle after they first rotation Rel as well. But in that
Interesting.
game, they were banning out tank and engage junglers.
Right, they're gonna ban Lee here, TL, and then please pick a Wukong. Pick Wukong. Can we play Vi? Bro, Vi is open. Vi. Make them remember you. Vi.
That's the classic combo. It's
How about Vi Aatrox? Vi Aatrox?
I mean, they pretty much are daring to do it, but at least you do have an enemy mid laner who is non-mobile in Cassiopeia. Try to make that happen, but I'm honestly pretty much just expecting that.
Can someone play Aatrox for the love of God?
I'm also really interested to see, is
please,
Pioshik playing the Nautilus? That's kind
please, please, I'm on my knees for cheese. Who's better draft, bro? Let's let it finish.
It hasn't really been played jungle a lot, but I do think when you want to play aggressive, when you want to
please, someone just pick Aatrox.
So it is going to be. Sure. Okay.
What?
Tarek is getting actually, I think, really strong in solo queue. This is, I think, a really underrated pick.
So Nautilus jungle. And Tarek, Tristana bot.
At the top, are they going to get really wild with it? I'm still expecting to be fifth pick, top counter pick here for Summit. But
like, it's not terrible, but what's the point in this game? Like,
when it's used aggressively, I think it's way better. So Cassio's fairly mid-range, but you
this is pivoting to Rel jungle.
Ultimate Tour, you get her aggressive, you're going things like Stoneplate and Rylai's pseudo-tanky builds, and you kind of just throw that Cassio in there. So
okay.
You can also jump forward with the stun and with that as well.
What AD top can you play someday? K-Kona.
You do the dazzle, I believe it is the stun.
Well, the thing is, the moment Tarek got locked in, it instantly made Vi a million times worse. So, I understand the pivot.
Tarek will block the Vi as well, so maybe 100 Thieves was thinking that they'd go harder engage with the Vi.
Will you go Kisante Summit? Nah, pick me Nar. Pick me Nar. Nar. I want to play Nar. I hate Aatrox.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Fiora.
Fiora.
So, I mean, if I'm someday, I'm actually pretty scared this game.
Okay.
You got 5th counterpick by the Fiora.
Hmm.
You know, he had it to blind. He's on the Cassante, but it's also paired with a really strong ganking jungler in the Nautilus. So I would not be surprised to see a lot of attention up towards topside. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how this 2v2 matchup should go in bot lane. It's just not something we've seen a lot at the pro level. But I do think, you know, in my experience playing a lot of Tarek and seeing it in solo queue, if you can get through the early stages, it is a monster in the team fights. You have so much value compared to a lot of traditional supports if you get a good value ultimate.
And also, the
I don't know.
Baron takes with Tarek are absolutely unreal. You take no damage because you Q, auto, Q, auto, infinity.
I don't know, like,
3-man that Baron at 20 minutes without taking any damage.
Tarek, man, it has been
I think who I prefer here.
enjoy this champion in team fights in
There's very little counterplay to Kai'Sa later on, but I think earlier on, I think Red side is looking pretty strong. Honestly, like this is a game that Kai'Sa can carry.
It's almost guaranteed loss.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, it can be really difficult, and that's why I also really do rate.
It's definitely a game that Kai'Sa can carry.
Where I think that if you use it defensively, sometimes they can bait it out and then they can back off. If you're the ones hard engaging and you're just jumping in,
And I think that
it can become really difficult.
in most cases I wouldn't like Fiora, but it's Summit.
I also think it's so cool that Team Liquid is bringing this out now in Core JJ versus Doublelift, because in my memory, the last time Tarek was popular was Sona Tarek. And you know who the best Sona Tarek team was? It was Team Liquid with Core JJ and Doublelift. So it's actually a little bit less surprising to Doublelift, because if he remembers how Core JJ wants to play Tarek, it'll be a level of familiarity that other AD carries.
It's like, I think
This is not just the first Tarek.
I'm looking at Kai'Sa, Rakan, Ahri, Rel. Like this looks so weak early on. I don't feel like Ahri has good synergies here in this game. And I think that it will be very tough to kill Cassio early on in the game. I really think Cassio will run a lot of these early game fights. But if blue side, if Kai'Sa gets the 3 core, things can get different, but it's not like Tristana falls off, you know. I actually prefer right side here, guys.
Be careful about that one, but
I prefer red side here.
With the Tarek and the Cassiopeia in mid lane for APA, I want to see if 100 Thieves have the solution, have the solve versus this. Again, there's the issue of, do they have enough physical damage?
See, my man just warded outside of the bush.
So he is going to be going Glacial Augment as well.
Summit getting information. Big guy. I like that.
Guarding kind of more defensive. Obviously, if you hit the stun with the dazzle, then Glacial Augment does have a lot of value there. They're playing very.
Good thing is winning EU season finals G2.
It's heal cleanse for their bot lane. I expect them to not really be looking.
Anyone who predicts not G2 is trolling.
Getting value from your scaling. With Doublelift going Hail of Blades, that generally does lend itself towards those more AP styles, but he's not actually starting Longsword. He's going to go D-Blade, so I'll be interested to see where he goes. And there are a lot of different options. You can go like Navori AD, you can go Shiv.
I think SK may surprise a lot of analysts.
Obviously, the more standard builds that we see into AP, so interesting to see where he takes it.
Okay. K Grizzly, thank you very much for the tier 1. I appreciate you. Thank you kindly. You're the man. Really enjoyed the streams. Thank you. Thank you.
Concern for 100 Thieves and for Someday is if Pioshik decides to commit to this, does Summit become 1v9 split push raid boss and find a win condition through that? Again, Cassante is the champion that has lost both games so far in this series, played by either side.
I like the Cassio here, honestly.
There was one Fiora game from Summit. It was actually against Energy.
SK did not get rid of those, no. They'll do that next year. Oh, Pioshik.
He was hard camp top lane, got someone into a massive advantage. Someone even built Hullbreaker, and then decided to 5v5 and they actually lost that game.
Yo, Dilly HD, thanks for the prime game. I appreciate you. Rose is doing the wizard reverse clear, so we call it.
So after that, APA was subbed in, so it was
Pioshik flash queued and missed, and Ahri with no boots.
team fighting overall is a little better here. It's like a 4 strong core team fighters with the Fiora
I'll surprise you with my fat fist in your mouth if you keep this blasphemy up. Alright, that's print screened.
Team Liquid play with Summit in team fights.
Exactly. I mean, even in a lot of these circumstances, we saw the Monster Jax game from
I think your name's James, by the way.
where he had that huge carry performance. He even goes Hullbreaker in that and then ends up team fighting, right? So there's a lot of these situations where it feels like he's building Hullbreaker saying, okay, I want to only split push, but then I don't know if it's him making the decision or TL is saying, okay, we don't.
I'm sending that to Riot, Mitch.
Group, so it seems to be kind of split ideas on how to actually play that out. I do think Tarek adds a pretty interesting wrinkle to how you can 5v5 though as a Fiora. Because again, you know, you can use this aggressively. You can start it out if you get that dazzle stun on someone from the Fiora, get an ultimate.
How does it even work in game? You pick set.
Squishy, but not with a Tarek ultimate, and you give him a little
6 times 100 sets on chest.
Like a frontliner, utilize the true damage and get that first kill. And really
I would say though, like my theory crack.
Oh fuck's sake! I'm never gonna reveal my gym habits.
Always team fights.
But literally, no, you just team fight with 4. Like, you're going to be so strong with Cassio Tarek, like, starting an objective. If they fly in on you, you might even win a 4v5.
Alright, Pioshik, no flash. No collapse on both sides though, so he's safe. Wait, Pioshik has it out of the vision pocket. He feels that's a safety. Holy, Pioshik. Kind of base gank here. Oof, close Reddit. Holy, Pioshik. Pioshik didn't base yet. Let's see if closer. Wait, he's just sharing this wave with his homie?
In the face of his opponent, he was in such a great spot.
Nautilus just starts punching the wave? What's happening? Why did Pioshik share a whole wave with Appa? What the fuck?
How TL wants to play this out, you know, if someone can get ahead, that's step 1. And step 2, what do they want to do with that? How do they use that to kind of carry that lead forward into a victory?
Well, the lane's not too happy for Someday right now, as Summit is...
That's crazy, by the way.
Wants it, continuing to just farm up.
That is nuts.
Someday trying to trade back with the Intofo strikes. You can see Closer is hanging around nearby, but again, Rel is one of those champions. Her CC is so telegraphed, it's still on dial-up internet. If Fiora fails to repost Crashdown, like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to find success here against the Fiora with the gank.
Yeah, it can be really tough. You have to get clever. You have to look for Q flashes and things like that they maybe can't react to, but it is really unlikely that they're going to be able to find a play there. Likely Closer was...
Alright, Cassie got a lost chapter base. It's a pretty big base, and she's not losing minions. Pretty big.
Making some sort of a play up there. We know that Pioshik is down on bottom side, though. And is actually pinging on towards the dragon because they do have push here. So looking to start this up, you know, you talked about it, Jat, the power that
I don't know. I guess Casio did get 6.
You get
It's a little Drake start.
It actually does
All
the same
right.
amount of damage and it resets the cooldown on your heal. So as long as you're able to get that off, you just can continue going. And he's also going for the build that I really like, which is the tier build.
I like Team Liquid's chances here.
Very, very greedy. But, you know, if you're not punished in lane and you go this style, then you could actually get a tremendous use out of that passive and those autos for spamming out heals in the 5v5s. Because if you don't go for that build, you actually can't really maintain enough mana to spam out those Qs.
I don't rate Abadagi that highly.
Because his mana costs are actually really, really high.
Well, they've secured the dragon very early for themselves, 6.5 minutes in.
But he definitely did improve, and had some good games on XO.
APA now going to be forced to flash away as Closer makes an entrance here into mid. Didn't have to commit his own flash, just the shattering strike was enough to scare APA back.
Yeah, and having Ahri level 6, that's a very dangerous mid lane for APA at the moment. I really do like the way this Team Liquid composition seems to be coming together. That's why Azael and I have probably spent the last 6 minutes talking about it.
It's fun to talk about new stuff too, right?
It's unique, and they have 3...
Yeah, Frozen X, you're definitely on some crack.
Really supportive members in the Nautilus and
You opened up the Pandora's box. Steph Curry Sim is not going to be happy with you, so I'm just going to let him tear into you, and I'm going to enjoy the game. But actually, Frozen X is... It's a good troll. It's a good troll, Frozen X. It's a good troll. It's a good troll. Are you half Swedish? No, I don't have any Swedish blood, but I grew up in Sweden. It's a good troll, Frozen X. You had me for a moment. It's a good troll.
This is really hard to make happen, I think.
Alright. Oh. Okay, that was mental.
Using the cleanse and the heal, they don't even have to spend a flash. 100 Thieves dive fails.
He loves shit Buller. What is Baron Panda doing here? Just came in to see that I love meatballs.
So I think that's why they made that call. That's why they went aggressive. At the end of the day, does force out the cleanse and the heal, so not bad.
But then the fact that Jan was able to buffer his rocket jump and escape, now Core and Jan are both level 6. They won't be able to dive that for a long while. And Team Liquid, knowing that the bunch of stuff just got burned bottom.
Gold 2, 80% win ratio. Damn. What's the nationality then? Swedish.
They're up a very small amount of gold, but that is about to spike once they acquire this Herald. Again, nobody from the side of 100 Thieves nearby to be able to contest this one as Jan and Core JJ are walking their way up. Good with the charm onto Jan, but it ain't going to do a whole lot. That Spirit Rush being used means he's just going to spend the last couple of charges however he can as the eye is...
No, they shoot Buller. Not shoot Buller.
It doesn't look like much, but getting the Arialt to be expended there when APA is flashless as the Cassio in mid lane is huge. It bails
Shoot Buller.
so not only did Jan and Core absorb
I don't know how to translate Buller to English.
they also were able to relieve pressure in the mid lane. Massive play.
Surströmming is fucking disgusting, like...
Surviving the Fiora situation, 63 farm compared to the 83, and he's even got more minions alive.
Bulle is not a ball, yeah. I don't know what the translation for a bulle is like a bun. I don't know if it's even a bun. It's a cinnamon bun. Kanel bulle. Bulle is just a fucking round shape.
When you're already going tier start and you're down your flash as you called out, right? Because that can help to keep him safe. TL, we're looking for an angle on that dive, but 100 Thieves are here to match.
It's a slap fight, man.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. It's a meatball battle. He said it, guys. So we talk meatballs. Going all the way around. If JJ completes the Golden Road, they're the greatest team ever. You'd have to put the context of like their opposition in, but probably yes.
Try to look for a potential wraparound gank on Quid, who is missing his ulti, and they get the flash from closer for it. So well done.
I think finishing the Golden Road out of LPL is insanely hard. Because I think LPL is the hardest league to win.
Easy trade for them. Core JJ, of course, can heal this back up pretty easily. There you go. Another one of those comes out.
It's looking like so far the Taric surprise is really working out for Team Liquid. 100 Thieves tried really hard for that dive early.
Alright, Yon, it's time to base, mate. It's time to base.
Really good spells just by
Go home.
jumping forward with the Taric. They got the double of cleanse bottom.
I don't remember when Closer and Boozy actually flashed. I don't know if they have it up for 40.
So yeah, really effective early game, even though it's 0-0 for Team Liquid. Because I feel like the team fighting when this team actually comes together later game is going to be.
I would say LNG have like, yeah, a 30 to 40% chance of beating JG. Nah, probably 30. Like, I think JG is gonna fucking roll it down into Blunt, man. Minus 1.5.
Ridiculous in those 1v1s. It's almost kind of a meme at this point where it's just like everyone just expects it, so he doesn't get the
It's like LNG need to win 3 games against JGG. That sounds fucking impossible, by the way. 3 games.
300 gold that can kill every lane.
Oh, it's got a lot of guys from both sides here jockeying for position around this bottom side river, looking at mid. Both mid laners did take a chunk of damage there. Quid hit the charm, and APA got...
Let's see how Team Liquid maneuver around their Fiora here. If they're gonna get involved with Fiora, what are they gonna do? Big crab take here for Closer, but Ahri is completely disconnected and half HP, so... Hola, Kikolo. Kikelo.
You throw down the Nautilus ultimate, as soon as the depth charge lands, throw Miasma on it.
Boom.
Hook coming in from Pioshik. Doublelift is the target. He tries to Killer Instinct back over to the other side of the Team Liquid jungler so he can flash over the wall. And
Maybe Kanavi forgets to take his meds. Did you just assume Kanavi's on meds? That's crazy. Someone just TP'd into mid and they just secured Drake. I'll take that any day of the week. Like, Cassandra doesn't have item. It's a very important swing here. Like, Summit carried the situation so fucking hard because it's like in terms of itemization, this was a very good window for 100 Thieves to actually fight back. But Quid losing HP, Summit TPing on mid with Divine Sunderer, Cassandra not being ready for that, really, really big.
And Grounded itself as a mechanic is so rare in League of Legends. Singed Goo has it, Cassiopeia Poison has it. There's not a lot of champions that can apply it, and it's one of those things.
When does Kaiser start shooting 50 cal bullets every few seconds?
When you play against them, they're so impactful, but they're also so rare. They can
Onto items.
fall into the back of your mind, and it's much easier to be caught off guard.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, even though this is a very low action early game, it does feel like 100 Thieves need to...
No, RNG have dibs on Gala. if Gala goes to Worlds on LNG. That's the wizard contract that Gala is on. Can you believe that shit?
That it seems like they're able to play through. They tried to stack away.
Isn't Roy and Custom was always better? Lost Chapter is just a better lane item over Catalysts.
Doing something to the Divine Sunder or Fiora top lane. You go up there, probably 1v2s.
Yeah.
So Team Liquid, I think, is really just going to play an objective game. It doesn't need to be flashy to be effective, which is very different than how Team Liquid has played for so much of this split. But they're already at 2 Drakes. They have the Taric. I can see them just grouping up in 3.5 minutes for the next Cloud, grouping up around Baron at 20 minutes and just like playing the game out very safely.
Absolutely. I mean, I do think that's one of the big differences.
If LNG goes to Worlds, Gala will play for LNG, but after Worlds, then RNG have dibs on Gala.
It is going to be more difficult, I think, for them to just kind of play it.
Just that he can't be on LNG next year, because Gala have RNG have dibs.
They're going to have to look to fight, and Quid's going to have a really good fight on the Ahri.
And the game being 0-0 tells you it's slow, but even more evidence for just how slowed down the pace of this is.
It's a crazy contract. I've never heard wizardry at that level one. That is like some... It's like RNG and G2 are just the best contract makers on the planet, by the way.
APA now has that Rylai's, so he's actually just sitting on the Lost Chapter plus the tier for his mana problems, has that early Rylai's. It's really powerful in the Casio. You connect with any spell, you're going to get the slowdown.
Bro, Bin won MSI with RNG and then had to go...
So it's really effective with Kite.
Had to go back to Bilibili.
Down, but 100 Thieves on top side, they're starting up this Herald. Someone is basing it, has no TP, so it is going to be a free Herald, but they're going to trade it for the solo.
They're losing the whole fucking map, by the way, for this Herald.
So again,
I imagine feeling good about getting Herald when you lose farm on bot, turret on bot. Like, what do you want to do with this Cristiano Heraldo? At least take the last hit quid or some shit. GG minus 1.5 at 1.9 seems like a solid bet.
Participant in one first
I don't know.
The entire summer split. Yes. The good news is still no first blood this game.
Doesn't sound super solid, honestly.
He can still
Still sounds like pretty like meh odds.
You never know. You never
but
know.
Jets used car salesman arc.
Yeah, really.
It's 16.
You have Steph Curry sim in the chat. Take care, big Jeff.
That seems like a lemon to me, man.
It's not a question of what I think. Asi ruk rak ruk ruk. It's about the odds being bad.
Well,
but it is a car.
It takes at least 16 minutes to do so.
You can drive it home today.
And you'll probably get most of the way there. All right, Closer and the rest of 100 Thieves and the rest of
Look at Summit enjoying himself, man. Summit on split push champ. We like that. Summit just uses by fucking... He should buy...
Using the riposte to guarantee that it doesn't get locked down by the Everfrost. But yeah, man, both teams are just so content. Letting the clock tick forward.
I like how someone was playing aggressive there. I think what he's trying to do is force out the ult from the Ahri prior to this.
Yeah, Steph Curry Sim has way better opinions than I do on this case. Like, Steph Curry Sim is making a living off this shit. I imagine his recommendations are better.
Cooldowns from your opponents, and you can prevent them from being able to actually fight you properly at that objective.
Completely agree, and they're kind of keeping Quid in the top lane. If they can keep him from having a good setup, it's just very difficult for anyone to realistically get in for 100 Thieves. Like, you could say...
Battle Cruiser operational. Good sound. Thank you very much, Stone Soldier. 17 fucking months.
Comes down, which is part of the reason I think this game is in such a stalled state. 100 Thieves thinks if they go in, they're just going to int, and Team Liquid says, well, we already got 2 Drakes. We don't need to go in. Why int? Let's just get the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a pure tank support jungler. You've got Cassante with 1 item. Everfrost Ahri. The damage on 100 Thieves is very, very, very low. Like, bursting through Cosmic Radiance feels...
Yo, Peshmesh, thank you for the prime giving.
Double is going towards the AP Kaisa build, so he is going to be going AP. So I do think TL are going to start stacking Merc Tread, stacking that up. Someone is already TP'd here. They are going to get the charge, but not more than that.
Comes in, Summit with a nice
Alright, Summit is creating so much space here on the Fury, I like it. He's spotted on the ward though. I don't like that Team Liquids are all posturing on the mid wave and Drake's already alive. Like, can't they just leave someone to clear the wave and they just push position for Drake? Pack Squad 23, thank you very much, son. Alright, do the Drake, do the Drake.
I don't think 100 Thieves, I think they're just going to end up giving this up potentially, because I don't think they can actually get in. They're just getting harassed so heavily. Unless they are willing to make like a full commit flash play, AP is just harassing them on the side.
Well, has gone in. He's all out.
Wow, 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 wow.
APA's been caught, but the Cosmic Radiance keeps him alive now. Closer off to the side, just dies. First blood over to the side of
Okay, DL. Wow, Tarek is broken, by the way. Wow. This was like a TFT game. I would check like, wow, Tarek just blocked like 5k damage. I didn't like the fight start, but honestly, this Tarek looked really broken. I think this is the least amount of kills I've seen in a BO5 all year long.
Gets completely shut down, and Team Liquid take even stronger control of the game.
That's a difficulty, and that's why I thought they were going to just back off, because everyone approaching from one side is going to be so difficult to make it work. APA was harassing them as they come in, and they make the call, you know, we're going to flash for this play. But where's the damage from Quid? It has to be already
Rook. If I can ask him in the chat, don't get weird.
Charm does connect, but then the ulti is landed, and watch as Doublelift goes for the killer instinct in the backline. Yeah. But the Bastion is there from Core JJ. He's in the Fiora ult, and Doublelift is not able to burst him down, so there's the Bastion.
I feel bad because now I put you on the pedestal, Steph Curry Sim. I know you want to keep it on the low. I'll not reference people to you anymore. I don't want to lose you. You're entertaining to me.
100 Thieves want to dive now. The tier 1 turret's still standing, but just barely. But it stands long enough to make sure that 100 Thieves aren't going to get what they came for. They'll at least force down the turret, but no kills.
Katsu should just hit top here for free, I think.
I actually like that play, trying to make a quick play before Team Liquid is set up, but Doublelift, the time for him to get to 3-item Kai'Sa is it's not there.
Yeah, it's very pushed back, and now they're just going to start with the Baron because
this
they
is
have
the Tarek.
Yeah, you just continue autoing, you continue using that passive heal back up. They're onto it, and they're going to be probably finishing it.
They don't take damage.
Yeah, 100 Thieves jungler has 1/3 HP. Team Liquid is not afraid of this. Quid jumps in, finds a charm at a core JJ, but he won't be able to kill him.
I don't know about this.
Is not ready. Voidseeker flies out. Quid dropping the ever.
Whoa, Yawn.
Back away from Yawn. The depth charge follows him, but boosting.
Bro, why are you rushing, Team Liquid? You're winning the game so hard. Why are you rushing? Why are you rushing? Why? Why are you rushing?
Is actually going Luden's second, so he's going towards an early poke mythic here, and I think his read is we can't win all in, so I've just got to try to find some way to contribute, and his read is that it's going to be through poke.
Well, the thing is, remember, if we're going back and comparing this to the previous game, at this point in the previous game, Doublelift was hitting that 3-item power spike.
I don't know if it's the humidity, but like my body is so itchy, man.
He's still working towards the second item, so very, very different game state compared to what we saw work for 100 Thieves to find the win in the previous one. Team Liquid up about 2,500 overall. They're on soul point. Not a single Drake has been claimed by 100 Thieves, and here in 3 minutes, the Thieves are going to have to either fight again for that Drake, which is so damn hard to do, or they just give it away.
It is really tough, and this build for Doublelift is a lot lower DPS. You know, people always...
Bro, my chest has increased in size so much over the last 6 months. It is kind of crazy. My chest has like tripled in 6 months. Buy my ebook, guys, to get chest ebook for 200 euro, guys. 200 euro ebook on how to get big titties.
You know, Yawn is going to build towards lifesteal. So Piotrik's not really going to care, so the targets are kind of few and far between.
Did you eat a lot of KFC?
Yeah, I still like the play though. Just hoping that you land enough onto Yawn that maybe you can have them back off before Cloud Drake. I think Team Liquid's going to keep trying to pressure on this Baron. Weirdly enough, 100 Thieves' like best chance is if they can get Team Liquid to start.
I think they should not sat Nash and set up a scenario where Summit is on top wave, and then off of the enemy 100 Thieves. This is how it's gonna play out, okay? 100 Thieves will be like, guys, we need to defend Soul, and then they will overposition for Soul and lose Nash for it, and then lose the game. That's what's gonna happen, okay? Trust. Trust. You just know 100 Thieves will. They will sniff like where Dragon spawns like 30 seconds before it. They'll say, oh, Dragon sat here, and then TL will just get a free Nash. Free Nash, guys, free Nash. How many cameos you done so far? Any bangers? I've done like maybe 60, 70 cameos.
They don't have any good options. They just have to pray.
We've talked about the Kai'Sa build being lower on overall DPS. Ari's second item is a Banshee's Veil. Rel's second item is a Knight's Vow. None of these items are going to burst cosmically. I just feel like 100 Thieves is tasked with something that can only be done if TL just go complete goofy approach to the fight.
You're playing a two-threat.
His coaching via the one side app still on, but it's expensive as fuck.
CDR boots and an Oblivion Orb, right? It's not a lot.
It's giga expensive.
Doublelift is not ahead like he was last time.
That thing you're doing with Kato, Dungeons and Dragons, it's similar. It's like it's a game that is this base of Dungeons and Dragons rules. So visually, it's a lot more appealing than me sitting there and saying, "I am a wizard. I entered your tavern. Give me a barrel of your finest ale," and then roll charisma. Oh, you're so handsome, wizard. You get it for free. Much shit like this, you know. It's visual. Alright, Sam is on the flank low, 15. Oh, what is 100 Thieves thinking here, mate? What is the plan? Oh, Boostio just W's into the wall. Oh my god, that was ugly. Ugly. Doublelift jumping in with no HP at all. Bro. By the way, guys, we're gonna do something that I've never done before, okay? We're gonna look at every 100 Thieves player and look at their sequence. Let's start with Boostio, okay? Boostio's on the flank, 100 Thieves starting the Nasher. The enemy team is on Drake. Cassio is covering. They have information already. Boostio in Fog of War, looking for the opportunity to strike. Team Liquids are approaching fast. No damage, and there Boostio is spotted. He didn't play in the right pocket. Boostio has been spotted. APA chase him. Boostio still tethering to the wrong pocket with the move speed from Cloud Soul. Doesn't dodge. W's into the wall and R's away to survive. So Boostio's already out of the fight. Now let's take a look at Doublelift. Doublelift hitting the Nasher with his team. Doublelift hitting Nasher with his team, cancelling autos on Nasher, losing DPS, moving and jiggling, doesn't use E for attack speed, doesn't matter, stops hitting Nash for some reason here. He just stops hitting Nash. They're trying to pressure Nash, he stops hitting Nash, he's the only DPS. Now he starts hitting again. Now somebody's on the flank, dodges the Q, very nicely done. Doublelift reapproaches. Let's take a look at now Summit, what he does to him. Damn. Damn. Damn, son. Imagine getting one shot by Fiora as Kai'Sa. And then now let's take a look at Someday. What does Someday do? What does Someday do? Alright. Nah, it's just GG. Alright. So they got the Drake, they got the Nash. No surprise there. He doesn't give damage, just gives attack speed, which is damage if you're hitting.
So you guys have been praising Team Liquid for having a really good game compared to some of the issues that we've seen them have.
Hell, it's about damn time.
This one because again, their criticism is they want to do nothing in scale, and I can't remember a single time they tried to do something proactive this game.
Right.
And you can say it's because of the draft, so then I have to go back and ask, well, then what the
damn, that is one of the dankest Kai'Sa builds I've ever seen. Look at that Kai'Sa build, guys.
It feels like, you know, 400 Thieves to play that.
What the hell?
Zero and they're dependent upon Tristana, right? One got banned, the other got taken away, and I think it really did limit their options. You know,
Bro, if you want to go this build, no meme, you should go Mana Mule first.
It's one of those things that you can kind of take over a game on. And
if you want to do this build, I think you go Mana Mule first. Not static shift.
Tristana is maybe more important for their draft at the end of the day because it feels like there's more things that can slot in for Doublelift than there are for Quid. Because if you're going two threats,
also, like going AP this game.
Absolutely trash this team in the early game, and Teal is so good in early game.
And your question of what the plan was, I actually don't even think this was the plan. I think they got countered in 4-5.
It's not a bad AD Kai'Sa game.
Team Liquid banned both Viego and Lee Sin, even when Rel was already locked in, because they knew, I think, that they wanted to run an aggressive AD jungler. Then they locked Taric, which blocked the Vi. So I think 100 Thieves just kind of ended up with this. And then the aggressive play they had, like their literally only win condition was accelerate Doublelift. So they hit level
Isn't this just a bad Kaiser game? Well, the thing is, they pick Ari and they don't pick an AD jungle because they got scared of Taric, I think. I have no clue. What is chat, by the way? Where did it go? I don't know where it is, actually. Oh shit, there it is. What the fuck happened to it?
But TL can just continue walking on out. They'll move off to the side.
Oh, it's like you're playing Ari with Rel jungle and then you have Kiss on the top. Like,
I'm expecting Team Liquid to just clear out whatever they
it's kind of ballsack.
Reset, get some wards ready, and get ready to close this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see people buying up stopwatches on their side. APA grab one, Yon grab
Yeah, if you build like this, I think you should just have Manamune and probably like a serrated Dirk. Like Manamune, serrated Dirk into Ludens. If you want to build like this, I think it's just better. But it is what it is. And it ain't what it isn't.
I don't honestly think that his build would have mattered this game that much.
If you sub in for Nuktak this instant, what do? I say, yo, Nuktak, you want a job?
Man, what if Team Liquid doesn't end?
I don't have enough information about the 100 Thieves players. But I would say, yo, Closer, it's time for you to fucking bust out the big chops, okay? We need you to play a fucking AD jungler, baby. You're gonna play Orn top, you're gonna play Viego, Closer, Viego. And then we're gonna play Quid, whatever AP champ is fucking left.
For them to not be able to close out this game.
It would. I'm just like, I'm trying to add some tension. Like, it's taking longer than we expected. That leaves the door a little bit open, no?
No. That door is bolted shut. With titanium bolts. Team Liquid looking to chase after
and then
Sunday here. They got the wave crashing into the final remaining
bot lane. We're gonna play Xayah Rakan and have a good time.
Just kill Summit right now, and then they get Elder.
Even if they kill Summit, they're going to lose that fight 4v5 after. All the resources they would have to put into killing Summit, they will hard lose the fight
I'll give you this if there's
based Captain Flowers.
I'll give you that.
Right. And it's up soon, you never know.
Look at Summit, he's smooth with it, man.
As does the audience at home. but you never know.
We still got some believers in there.
They got some believers.
I think 100 Thieves themselves probably stopped believing about 15 minutes ago.
I think that's probably true.
I think they're like, so guys, what are we drafting in game 3? Game 4?
Game 4 play. All right, Team Liquid, they're starting up the Baron, and they're starting it up with only 3 dudes. APA's got the damage to burn it down pretty rapidly. Summit's back in the enemy base, working on the Nexus turrets.
There we go. Summit low-key carried the shit out of this game, dude. That Drake 2 advantage was big from Summit.
Team Liquid took a Nexus turret. Summit's just putting the work in on this one, and Someday can't do a damn thing about
Nice, Summit. Summit's my boy.
And Team Liquid is right back into the Baron pit. We're going to repeat what you just saw. Let's do it again. Nexus under pressure as they send Quid back into the base now too, but it's going to be a TP coming in.
I think Summit can 1v2 this.
APA back into the fight now as Closer's ready to try to fight and challenge here for the Baron, but it ain't going to work.
What are they doing? Oh, the Summit.
He's going to kill him 1v2. Quid flashing away from the repose.
Nah, blood.
It don't matter. 100 Thieves is done for. Team Liquid's going to end this one in 32 minutes.
Incredible game here from TL. Absolute domination in draft.
Katie had Nagne mid, dude. Nagne.
They're up 2-1.
Tristana remains 100% win rate in this series. Cassante remains 0% win rate in this series.
Nice.
Team Liquid, LS tweeted it, you saw it at the bottom of the screen, the Draft Kingdom just ending up with an unplayable position for their opponents because of the way they block the jungles, because of the way
Big Taric pick, honestly. Big Taric pick. I like it in the Durell, honestly.
And it felt like once mid-game rolled around and you guys said it,
And the Cassie worked out super well.
well, checkmate.
And I also also love the fact that they used APA's Cassiopeia, his best champion in his competitive history. They make it make sense with the entire team composition. They should be very happy with the way that game played out, especially because of how patient.
We're not gonna mention how Fnatic
Battle cruiser operational.
Rookie. They're gonna mention how Fnatic beating Rookie.
Absolutely. And TL do.
They beat Rookie, man.
Yes, you can say what you want about someone died once in the side lane.
By the way, didn't Origin lose to LGD week 1?
Never really left the door open here, you know, for anything to happen from 100 Thieves.
They lost week 1 against them. I remember. It was what's his name? The world champ AD carry Imp was playing Kog'Maw.
I did not expect the Taric, but when I saw the Taric,
I think that might have been week 2 then. I think they beat KT and LGD in week 2. I remember. Expect Shockwave found them all?
Team Liquid absolutely suffocated them out.
Was that versus Kog'Maw? Oh. Yeah. To be fair, Mithy kind of 1v9s. What is this hitbox on Callisto ult though? Look at this hitbox. Look at this Callisto ult. CCing everyone on the whole map. They are flying, by the way. It's fucking Ryanair. Look how long they're CC'd. Imp can't fucking play the game. I remember that the OG versus KT was fucking crazy. That game was like a fucking Nexus banger, if I remember correctly.
This overall draft approach as one of the key instrumental reasons behind this TL win. And I think
fuck, what's the first game? Lou, why you're not joining Dom and SAC that much lately? There's no SAC. People are just not interested. Whatever. I can't find it, guys. Oh shit. Ashley Kang went to LPL. Crazy.
Hey guys, this is Ashley Kang of Horizon Esports and I'm joined by
Expect is for sure the best French mid to ever grace the game.
But it is cool to note that Core also has a ton of things that he's incredibly familiar with that he can bring out in this bot lane, and I really, really love the Terra pick here.
Yeah, the other thing that's worth talking about is the fact that in the upcoming game, Game 4, which 100 Thieves must win to keep their world hopes alive for Doublelift, it will also actually tie him in the
guys,
most games played,
we were obviously trolling.
In the upcoming game, they will tie
He said best French mid and wrote a Dutch flag.
Really cool if Doublelift was able to join his former teammate next weekend as well, but that does come down to the fact that they do need to win the next game to keep that dream alive.
And obviously,
we're obviously trolling.
We have a whole bunch of current players still in there, and Santorin and Jensen, and then Huhi and Sven, who both play coming up this weekend. I think, again, I know they've been talking about it on cast. In particular, Jat has been talking a lot about it, but it cannot be understated just how successful Doublelift has been in summer seasons, and also the fact that, like we illustrated at the beginning of the day, this is the toughest challenge, right? Because this roster that they have currently, I definitely don't think was necessarily the roster that they thought they might have after their spring approach. And it's starting from 8th. It is a little bit further than he's
Is that chocolate? Chocolate?
It's looking maybe a little rough. I don't know if they got 2 chances to do it. Is there? Oh, special guest?
We have a bot.
Oh no.
What's looking worse right now, me or 100 Thieves?
Wait, what did Rats do?
You can break it to me now.
I think 100 Thieves might be looking worse because if they lose the next game, they're done for months.
Oh.
True.
You can come back faster.
Really? I don't know yet.
That's true.
What happened to him? He fell while biking.
If people miss the top of the day,
Blood doesn't know how to bike. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know what happened to him.
the bike in a car.
I don't want to roast him for free.
It was more like, well, I got squeezed out of the basically off the road and on the sidewalks, and I had a choice to slow down. So maybe a lesson for 100 Thieves is maybe to slow down.
Oh, there you go. Go back to scaling.
Yeah, back to scaling. Look, I'm dropping the mic.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right. It looks like 100 Thieves is selecting blue side. I am wondering about their draft approach, right? Because we talked about how TL are kind of now just letting the Kai'Sa through. They let it through even in this game after Doublelift had that huge game 2 and.
We've had Double started the game 4-0, let's be honest.
Working really well, so.
Yeah, the Arya, I think, I don't hate the champion, but I think in this game, I really prefer Quid with some scaling because AP is not going to dominate him in lane. You can farm up really well, and then in the mid to late game, where Team Liquid...
I prefer Quid with some skating.
You can hopefully win
As it is banned, what do we do, guys?
Liquid hated it, clearly, so they started banning it. They need to find their backup, like, really strong scaling control mates to
Gee.
easier the rest of the series.
Yeah. All right, well, we will see what they come up with in the drafts on the other side of the break.
What's gonna happen in this series, my friends?
Shall we get started then? This speed exceeds all expectations. Reading speeds are 40% quicker than before, and writing speeds are 55% faster. Through the in-house controller, the per-watt performance has improved up to 50%. The 990 Pro's nickel coating controller...
Thing is, I don't have super much interest in the league fighting game because I'm not going to
Playing computer games?
be good at it.
Obviously the best.
It does look super cool though. I'm going to be so boosted. You're gonna coach me, Tanky? You're gonna coach me, Tanky.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Should I go with my main?
Why not try something new? Something cheesy?
No, something spicy.
Just hurry up and pick your Grubhub order.
Done.
Champ's like starting.
Damn, Doublelift's acting is insanely bad.
Guys, we are in this.
Guys, that's Nikki Taylor, the singer of Get Jinxed. I think they should change the Silver Scrape song to Danza Kuduro. I think that would be way more hype. I lost my iPod. Think EG has any upset potential tomorrow? Who do they play? They play C9? Which team do you think will win the 4th LPL spot? I think Top Esports. But maybe Wayward is too boosted. Maybe Alex is gonna run the region. Like, maybe Alex is gonna 1v9 everything. But I think Top Esports. I think Top Esports is probably the strongest out of those 3. But yeah. Please, let's get Rookie to Worlds, yeah? It's a must. Elon must.
Welcome back, everybody, to LCS Summer 2023 playoffs. It's 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. TL coming off a win in game number 3 to set themselves up with a 2-1 lead. They're at match point, and we need to see big changes from 100 Thieves, starting with the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what they're going to be looking at in this game here. 100 Thieves are going to be on blue side, so same side as they were last game. I think the Kai'Sa priority is going to change. I think Tristana actually needs to be the higher prio pick, and I think that is going to be the adjustment that I'm expecting, and we'll see where they go from there.
Yeah, I also think this is a really big moment.
Come on, quit. This is your moment.
And for 100 Thieves, right?
Cancun, baby.
It's been a very bad year for 100 Thieves based on the fact that they made back-to-back finals in 2022 and won the summer split of 2021. And I know no one's really talked about it, but I don't know if this is Doublelift's last series or not. He came back to competitive play to play on this 100 Thieves team with Bjergsen. Bjergsen isn't playing. He reignited the fire in Spring Split, but this is an elimination game from the year.
Okay,
right?
good take from chat. Good take.
It's
Interesting.
August 4th. There's a lot of year left before 2024. So in the past, when Doublelift has been in elimination games, he's clutched up. And I also have a hard time believing with Kane, a coach who Doublelift has won 4 championships with, that they do not try and do something that is heavily centered around Doublelift. Like, you can only switch it up so much when Doublelift is your win condition. And he's been the win condition so many times, and he just needs to do it. It just needs to be done. They're the 8th seed. They've done nothing in the early games so far, but he needs to win these next 2 games or his year is over.
Yeah, it's just so tough, right? You know, as the AD, it's like you can take over games, but your team has to enable you. Your team really has to set you up, right?
Yeah.
I think that is one of the things that has been sometimes.
I think it was crazy for both Doublelift and Bjergsen to actually play.
Towards what each other need to succeed in these games, and I also think 100 Thieves probably saw it as, oh, we're first picking Kai'Sa for Doublelift last game. We're setting him up to carry, right?
Yep.
We're setting him up to succeed, but the rest of the draft didn't really make sense around it. But we're into the game.
All right, we're into the game, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to see what the changes are going to be.
I'm just going to say it.
TLJ's out.
Again, if you want Rel, give it to Busio. Put
How about a Azerban? How about a drink?
Early game with. When 100 Thieves have looked their best in the past, it's because closers making plays and taking over the early game. The Rel jungle has just not been it.
I think, weirdly enough, the best way to allow Doublelift to succeed is to feed off of Summit. So I really just think, even though it was a year and a half ago, the old Closer Someday blueprint of let Closer play a Viego release Sin, have some gank set up top lane, and just try and punish him as much as possible,
ban.
will then allow other
Azerban.
areas of the map to have action so that Doublelift can make things happen.
There you go. Tristana first pick.
For 100 Thieves, that's the priority you were talking
Maokai
about.
has been ignored the whole series. We're gonna see a little Maokai.
This just makes a bit more sense, right? Because this gives Quid a pick where he doesn't necessarily.
Still gonna go Zarakan.
He can kind of play it more slowly. He can scale up.
Match on 3.
He can have that success in the later stages of the game. It also allows.
I don't mind that.
If Kai'Sa is left up, Double is for sure going to take Kai'Sa, and I think they'll run back what they did in the previous game. But that would be a bit shocking to me if they do actually leave it up. They're going to go Rakan, but you can go Kai'Sa Rakan. You could go Rakan Rel, which is also a really powerful hard engaged duo. But I think that leaving Kai'Sa up here would be a big mistake because 100 Thieves really only wins game through 5v5, and giving someone Kaisa plus Triss just allows you to throw 3 meatballs around them and play purely 5v5.
3 meatballs.
Well, they're gonna
The meatballs keep showing up, guys.
covering the Xayah originally, and now they are going to lock the Xayah, so they're valuing the lovers duo over the block on Kaisa.
Then you just go Kaisa Rel here.
Yeah, I think there's
you
no
just,
way
you
don't
literally
go
run
Kaisa
back
Rel.
game 2. You just go Kaisa Rel, and then you draft, you know, like Nautilus, Orin, etc. around it. I would be really surprised if they think that Nautilus might be a takeaway if Pioshik would play it in jungle, and if they think that's more important, potentially you do that. But I think it's Kaisa Rel. I think that Closer's just playing the Rel again. I know you guys don't love it, but game 2 did work really well.
Okay.
Of course, it was off a level 1 lead, so it's really hard to kind of, you know, judge that much from it. But I do think that that kind of a draft is 100 Thieves' best chance, because they just haven't shown the ability to close out any games in a way besides 5v5.
Yeah, they could go Kaisa Nautilus, like they could just bail.
The crowd goes wild.
Meta pick, like I know it feels bad to let it through.
The team is all booing. The crowd is booing.
Kaisa Nautilus. I like this. This is the pivot you can make, because it's like, okay, it's just going to be a jungler. We already have Rakan, so giving it over is no longer giving over this multi-role flex. It's literally just giving over row jungle, and they listen to the people.
It's just so funny to me. It's like that meme. You must be truly desperate to come to me, you know, for Nautilus. It's like everyone's excited for the Nautilus pick. So we'll see. Cassio is going to be the answer again. Cassio is something that I have seen as an answer in solo queue to Tristana. It can be actually pretty difficult for Tristana. If you jump in, you just drop down the miasma on him. You know, you really can punish in that way. And you also can fish pretty aggressively with your Qs. If you can connect on that, you're going to win pretty much every trade. The only thing Cassio really has to watch out for is when the explosive shot is up and available. So I think APA, on a comfortable champion, in a comfortable matchup, we'll see what TL can get done, because TL is pivoting pretty heavily from the draft that they lost with in game number 2. I wonder, do they leave Rel up? And if you do, that is like almost insulting. You know what I mean? It's to the point of like, this is one of the highest prio picks, and if they ban everything else, leave it up in phase 2 and still say you can't play it.
Yes, you leave Rel up.
Yeah,
I think you leave Rel up.
If I was TL, I would leave it up. Based on this series, I would leave it up. I'm not even trying to be.
Cold.
I'm not even trying to talk trash.
I know you're not, but that's cold.
Observing, I would leave it up. I would dare him to play.
Yeah, and I think as 100 Thieves, you just ban Gwen here now. You ban Fiora. You
Ban is better,
ban.
ban.
Nice split push. You go Ornn. You go probably towards the Rel, and I know you guys aren't going to want that, but you could go for, you know, physical damage jungler as well. But I don't think it necessarily fits the style that they're drafting for as much. I do think Lee Sin or whatever could fit in. It could be fine.
I would see a little Summit Gwen. I'd like a Summit. Oh, okay.
Most sense from this position. Just draft multiple forms of
Okay.
and really look to
Sorry, guys.
because the Xayah is going to be tough to dive.
You want to punish the Cassio?
I will not open my mouth again, guys.
And Lee Sin can kick the snake.
Yeah.
This
I need some double lift hope. Lift me up. You've come to the wrong stream, son.
For Pioshik, it's actually so funny. It's basically pre-counter picking, right? It's saying that we know all you guys can do is play 5v5, play for, you know, those kind of tank engaged comps. It is not going to be it though. So
All right, let's see what kind of
Summit. Okay.
maybe Summit Jax. A little Summit Jax game. Ooh, I love a Summit Jax.
I'm thinking of Jax because I think that
Yes. Oh, just play Aatrox. Just play Aatrox once in your life, mate.
With a Sejuani.
You're God Aatrox Summit.
I almost don't even care what someday picks. I feel like it's going to be a Jax 5th pick. And it's probably Ornn Rel for 100 Thieves.
Ornn Viego.
Ornn Lee Sin.
Ornn Lee Sin.
I mean, they might move away from it because they keep losing to it.
It's an elimination game.
Ornn Lee. Ornn Lee. Come on. Come on. You know you want to do it.
I mean, I'm sure he wants to do it. The question is, does his coach want him to do it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Really?
I don't think anyone wants to play the
They
tank
have enough
junglers.
frontline. Like, they literally have enough frontline. They need another
Nuktak doesn't believe in the eye of the tiger.
able to play aggressive jungling early against.
Hey. Hey.
Deny the Rel. They don't care about it. They forsake the Rel pick, and they're locking in Closer's Viego in the elimination game 4.
And Closer's best game by far this split was his Viego game just a week or two ago against Energy. He had that 6-0-5 Viego game. That is what you're hoping for here. I still think it's going to be Jax, so we'll see if there's going to be some sort of a different angle.
Jax is turbo here.
Not a melee pairing alongside that.
There it is. GG.
You know, if you think about you banned
Summit carries games like this, by the way.
what is the next champion that kind of
Shit is free for Summit.
It had to be Jax, so I like TL's draft here. But I think that 100 Thieves, what they've drafted as well, gives them the best possible chance to actually win this game. So it's two teams that I think have really gotten kind of what they want.
Yeah.
And it's now who can actually execute
I think Summit carries this game, guys.
the most fun style of game to watch.
And I think with 100 Thieves being in an elimination game here in the lower bracket of the Summer Split playoffs, if you're going to go out, you got to go
3-1 and go to
close
sleep.
around
Yeah,
Viego and double
that's the move.
Right? Like they were able to orchestrate a team composition that makes sense while still getting their comfort picks. I really like this for 100 Thieves.
And that's why I was so critical of the Rel. You played it 3 games, 2 losses, 1 win where you got the insane level 1 advantage, so I can't even give it the credit that I would give to a win normally. You gotta go back to the bread and butter. You gotta go back to what works. You already said it, Isaac. His best game by a mile. No, the distance from here to the moon. This split, that's a lot of miles. His best game by that much was on this pick, and now he gets a chance to run it back.
And I think he's going to have that kind of game. He's going to have that kind of involvement where he can snowball. You know, Viego needs to play that style of game to really have a huge level of effectiveness. There's a lot of additional wrinkles that I do think make things tougher for TL. You know, rather 400 Thieves against TL. I don't think that this is just like a straight up wait till late game outscale. Zaya is tough to dive. APA, if he gets towards the later stages of the game, is likely going to go Gargoyle Stoneplate 4th. These kind of items